Good morning, Swain event listeners. It may be cold outside, but the local real estate market is hotter than a Times Square Rolex. If you have questions or are ready to move forward with buying, selling, or investing in real estate, then give me a call. Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty, 865-694-5904, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
Join the Swain event at Dead End Barbecue on Wednesday, February 5th to celebrate the Vols' victories on the recruiting trail. Enjoy a special barbecue breakfast and listen to Jason Swain and the guys break down each signee during this special edition of the Swain event live from Dead End Barbecue. Former players will be on hand as well as great guests. What better way to celebrate the 2020 signing class than enjoying some delicious barbecue and hanging out with the Swain event? Spend National Signing Day with the Swain event and Dead End Barbecue.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 pounds and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. It is Monday, the best day of the week, January the 13th. 2 minutes past the top of the hour. Ben McKee, Brad Matthews, Jason Swain, 850 AM, 100.9 FM, WKVO Sports Radio. Download the free Swain Event app for Android, Apple devices. Check us out online, Swain Event TV there at Periscope, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Nice beanie, Ben.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. I thought it was appropriate to break out this Monday morning. No particular reason at all. It was just
Is it cold outside?
As the President of the United States said, the great state of Tennessee had a terrific football win over the weekend, and the great state of Tennessee has a great football team. Now, he was talking about the Tennessee Volunteers, but that can also apply to the Tennessee Titans, who already went away from the Super Bowl, which is absurd to think about. Great sports weekend. The Titans won. They're going to play the Chiefs next weekend in Kansas City for a chance to go to the playoffs. Tennessee basketball won. Both programs, the men's and women's team. The Preds won. The Grizzlies won. But the best yet, the Baltimore Ravens lost. They didn't just lose, though. They got beat down. Lamar Jackson out here choking in the playoffs again.
For those that do not know why there's a different sense of energy inside of the studio today, Brad Matthews is a huge Baltimore Ravens fan.
Oh, is he? I was not aware.
And Ben is a huge Steelers fan. So you guys are division rivals. And I don't know if I would say Lamar choked. He just didn't have a good game because the Ravens gave up 190 something rushing yards to Derrick Henry again. Mm-hmm. And what was Earl Thomas doing, Brad?
Earl Thomas running his mouth a lot and didn't back it up.
He didn't want to tackle him at all.
Just spun around like he was at a grade school dance.
Oh man, what a game! What a game for those NFL football fans that live in Tennessee. And I was thinking about this yesterday. It wasn't like it was yesterday, or excuse me, it wasn't like it was 50 years ago when the Titans moved from Houston to Nashville. So you have old school NFL fans. They already have their teams, whether it's the Cowboys, whether it's the Colts, the Browns, it ain't the Browns, the 49ers, the Packers, the Falcons, whatever. You already have your team. And so it's been really cool to see the 2020 Tennessee Titan fans, because we're getting two fan bases together. They're very passionate about their football. Great fan bases in the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans together this weekend for the NFC Championship and a chance to play in the Super Bowl. And man, what a game! What a game! Old school football, just running the football downhill. Safety's in the box. You take opportunity, go up deep, go over the top, go deep, and you connect, extending the lead. Just a great game. I'm sorry, Brad. I'm sorry you were on the receiving end of the L, but I mean, it was a pretty good game.
It was. It was a little disappointing, but I don't know if I'm on the Lamar Jackson choked bandwagon like many others are.
Nah, man, he didn't.
I mean, the first interception should have been caught by his tight end.
Yeah.
Goes off his hands.
Yep.
It's picked off. That's a tough break. You come back. I don't like the decision to go for it at 4th and 1, down 7 in your own territory. Even if you are perfect in the regular season going for it on 4th and 1, it's just too early in the game. It kind of shows desperation that I don't think was really there. Put your defense in another hole, and it kind of trickled on from there. Did he have his best performance? No. But when you're having to throw the ball 59 times in that offense, it's going to be tough to win a football game.
The Ravens choked.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson didn't choke.
It's a
But
great
the
way of putting it.
Ravens as a whole choked. Defense was not there. Could not stop the run. I wouldn't say the Ravens choked as a whole. They didn't do much to help Lamar Jackson at all. But we got the Chiefs, you got the Titans, and the Chiefs game yesterday was it was two different quarters there in the first quarter. The Texans blocked the punt. They went down and scored the first possession, 21-0. Boom, just like that. And then for some reason, Bill O'Brien decided to go for a fake punt inside of their own 50, up multiple scores. Then the Chiefs stopped them, and that is what kind of fueled the comeback there in the first quarter. And the Chiefs wound up winning 51-31. Wow. No Tom Brady anywhere close to the Super Bowl.
The only thing better than Tom Brady not being in the Super Bowl is the Ravens not being in the Super Bowl. So I'll be happy regardless of this year's outcome. Do you think that there's a better matchup for the Titans, the Chiefs, Texans?
I don't think that's a good matchup. I don't think the Chiefs is a good matchup. I thought the Texans would have been a better matchup for the Titans, but the Chiefs, this is not a good matchup for the Titans.
Now, according to my my Titans sources, the Titans did not have a preference on who they were going to play.
Whatever.
I mean, the Chiefs don't stop the run well. But can the Titans secondary slow down Pat Mahomes?
Exactly. The Titans already beat the Chiefs once this year.
Yep.
Can't say the same about the Texans. And no, I am not counting Week 17 when the Texans weren't playing anybody. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, well, the Titans beat the Texans too." No, they didn't. They lost the real matchup.
Did Mahomes
in
play?
Nashville.
Did Mahomes play in that game?
That was his first game back, was it not?
Yeah.
I think it was his first
so
game back.
First game back.
Was that a shootout, if I remember correctly?
I remember there was a play late in the game that kind of determined that game. It was a close game, and the Titans made the play to win. I watched that game too, but I don't remember exactly what happened. But yeah,
35-32.
Yeah, I mean,
Remember, Pat came out a little rusty. There was the interception on that first drive that got called back, and then they kind of got the ship righted.
Oh yeah, and the Titans scored 15 points in the fourth quarter to come back.
Yeah. I remember. Was that Cole? No, Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley plays for the
Bills.
But who's the slot receiver for the Titans?
Adam Humphries.
Was it Humphries?
He was at the time. I think that was before he got hurt.
Correct.
Yeah, he scored on a. He scored on a. I think it was like a dig route across the middle against the Chiefs to win. I think that was the game. But anyways,
You know what I realized last night when I was watching the Chiefs play? Eric Berry didn't get picked up at all this year.
no,
I hate this, but I completely forgot about Eric Berry.
Hey,
I'm stunned he didn't get picked up this
I
year.
know. I was
figured
actually just like waiting each week. Who's safety
I figured
in need?
somebody would pick him up.
it was hard not to think about Eric Berry when you see Tyrann Mathieu out there yesterday making plays and how they were talking about him kind of being like the heartbeat of the defense and how the locker room completely changed the day he stepped inside the locker room. And I thought about Eric Berry. It's like that was kind of what Eric Berry brought to the table early in his career before he started going through injuries. But
I just hate that for him. Such a great player, and I know he is getting a little bit older in terms of football age, but if it weren't for injuries, I mean, he still had 4, 5, 6 really good seasons left in the tank.
I don't know if I hate that for him or not. I think he's happy.
I'm just talking about injuries derailing his career kind of towards the end.
I mean,
he had to have received calls, right?
Guys, think about it. He beat cancer.
Yeah.
And he played after he beat cancer. So
then tore his Achilles and came back.
Yeah, like every day past that diagnosis probably was a blessing to him. And I mean, he's lucky and fortunate and blessed to be able to play the game of football after being diagnosed. So as a Tennessee fan, of course we want him to be playing and we want to see him play. But man, he got a chance to play. Just like Peyton got a chance to play after his neck injury.
Which was miraculous at the time.
Very miraculous.
New age surgery was what got Peyton back.
Very, very miraculous. So let's take a first break of the day. We'll be joined by Matt Moscona, 104.5 down there in Baton Rouge. They are getting ready for the national championship game tonight. Clemson, LSU, right there in the backyard of LSU. Dabo Swain already complaining about it, trying to use it as motivation for his team. I get it.
You know, I really think the Tigers are going to win tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty bold statement there. 865-255-03. Be right back.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
For a limited time only, Hiller is offering 0% interest financing for up to 48 months on qualifying high-efficiency HVAC systems. With no down payment required, expert installations, and convenient monthly payments, now is the perfect time to schedule. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
In debt? In too deep? Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union says, stop treading water and get out of the deep end. If you've got debt, make a splash and come get some cash. If Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union can refinance your car, boat, camper, motorcycle, credit cards, personal or home loan, they'll pay you up to $500. So come take the plunge right now. Refinance your loans. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union will pay you. 5 convenient locations. Visit atfcu.com. Equal housing lender.
If you want to chop it up with the fellas, call the Be Dry Waterproofing Hotline at 865-200-5503.
My man, Matt Moscona, 104.5, Baton Rouge down there. I just want to know, are you guys already pre-gaming? It's just 6:16 down there. Matt Moscona, good morning. Are you guys pre-gaming already this morning?
Swain, I'm heading into the city as we speak. I made the critical error. So I'm 45 minutes from my house to the Superdome Poitras exit. So I've been running back and forth each day so far since Friday. But I made that critical error because, man, every time I've been in the city, there's just this dissension of more and more people upon New Orleans. Man, yesterday I popped down with the family, kind of made a day of it, and driving back to Baton Rouge along I-10 west, looking across the Bonacary Spillway going into New Orleans, it was a log jam. It almost looked like a storm evacuation, people leaving Baton Rouge going into New Orleans. There's some city officials that are estimating 100,000 people from Baton Rouge will be in New Orleans today without a ticket. It's one of those things where everybody just wants to be there. They want to be a part of what everyone thinks is a really special season.
You know, there was this ex-Tennessee football player that does radio that when Ed Orgeron was hired, I said, man, you know what, I think this would be a pretty good hire. And, you know, he has a friend down there in Baton Rouge who, you know, wasn't as optimistic at the time. I understand. And I said, hey, man, he's going to be okay, man. You just watch. You remember that?
I was certainly the loudest banger of the drum and most fervent waver of the flag in opposition of the Ed Orgeron hiring. There's no question. You know, and what's interesting too, Swain, is, and this is, I think, what's the most impressive thing about what Ed's done. If you remember when he took over in 2017 full time, man, he had a rocky road. They got blown out by Mississippi State. He lost to Troy. They had their worst recruiting class in nearly 2 decades after that season. The Matt Canada debacle. You know, all of the legitimate fears that people had about Ed Orgeron after, you know, his failure at Ole Miss all came like screaming back to the forefront. But the thing that's not the most impressive. The thing that's most impressive about Ed, he did something which most coaches are not willing to do, which is be self-aware and put ego aside, show humility, admit mistake, and fix it. You know, if Ed Orgeron had the humility to fire Cam Cameron and modernize his offense, he'd probably still be Les Miles. He'd probably still be the LSU coach.
Yep.
But he didn't, and he got fired. And Ed had the foresight to change in his program what he needed to change to bring LSU to this point. It has been a mighty impressive about face.
It's amazing how Joe Brady has changed everything. It appears like he has. I'm pretty sure that, you know, the players put in the work, and, you know, you just mentioned Coach Orgeron changed some things and adapted, did a really good job of doing that. But from the outside looking in, it looks like Joe Brady has been like the magic piece for LSU. And what's even more impressive is that you guys are going to keep him. Explain a little bit of how Joe Brady has kind of changed his football program.
It's the way I've kind of described it here, Swain, is like Ed Orgeron just kept twisting the Rubik's Cube. And when he found Joe Brady, he finally hit that unlock. And, you know, there's a lot of people, I don't know if you saw, but Pat Forty at SI had a piece last week where he was quoting anonymously scouts and NFL front office people, athletic directors, college head coaches, their impressions of Joe Brady. Because this is really very much an outlier, right? I mean, he's 30 years old. 2 years ago, he was an assistant to an assistant with the New Orleans Saints. Swain, when he got the LSU job, he didn't even have an agent. I mean, to go from where he was 2 years ago now to the Broyles Award winner at 30 years old and arguably the hottest name in college coaching is, to say it's a meteoric rise even feels like I'm understating it. But, you know, LSU's always had the talent. The year everybody points to is, man, go back to 2013 when you had, Mettenberger and Jeremy Hill and Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham and Trey Turner and Lyle Collins and on and on and on. I mean, all these guys that are NFL guys.
Whew.
And, you know, and they just could never quite find this. So, you know, the interesting thing I referenced the Pat Forty piece is he quoted one athletic director that said, and I'm paraphrasing, our coaches didn't feel like schematically they were that much better. It's just that they have incredible players that are executing. And I think there's some truth to that, man. You know, Jamar Chase is going to be a first-round pick. Justin Jefferson is going to be a first-round pick. Joe Burrow is going to be the first pick in the draft. What does it look like next year without Joe Burrow, likely without Justin Jefferson, likely without Clyde Edwards-Helaire? You know, that's going to be the biggest test for Joe Brady as we get more of a sample size on him. But the undeniable truth is that all the ingredients this year have mixed in perfectly.
For me, the only way LSU loses this football game is if they come out and they like the Baltimore Ravens. They're like some of the teams that we've seen. Colts back in the day with Peyton Manning. Teams that had that 2-week, 3-week layoff, and they come out a little bit slow. I don't see that happening from LSU, but that's really the only way I see LSU losing, and if they turn the football over. How confident are the people down there in Louisiana about this game?
And, you know, just for some context, if LSU beats Clemson tonight, they will have beaten 7 top 10 teams, which is almost half of their schedule will have been against the top 10. Joe Burrow won the Heisman by the largest majority in the history of the award. He's going to be the first pick in the draft. You're going to look back and you're going to see Delpit and Stingley and Fulton and Chasson and Burrow and Chase and Jefferson and Marshall and all these guys that are going to be top 40, 50 picks in the draft. You'll have the number 1 overall pick in the draft. Like, history is also going to be very kind to this team, provided they win tonight. So I think LSU fans recognize it, kind of in the way that when you look back at 2001 Miami or 95 Nebraska, and I know that's blasphemous, Swain, because those are the best college football teams I've ever seen in my life.
It's not crazy.
This feels like, I don't know. I know defensively this team had its lull there for about 6 weeks, you know, in the middle of the season. But in the last 6 weeks defensively, they've been playing as good as they ever have under Dave Aranda. And if they can replicate that tonight, get stops against Clemson, they'll win this game by double digits, and then you start to have that conversation.
Matt, kind of building off of Swain's question, I think LSU wins tonight, but I do think it's funny and weird that the entire free world is on LSU winning this game, and most of the free world is on LSU winning this game big. It feels like the same narrative as last year's game with Clemson going out west and taking on Tua and that Alabama offense. If LSU were to lose tonight, aside from maybe LSU not showing up kind of like the Baltimore Ravens did over the weekend, what reasons would be for LSU losing?
Turnovers, which is something they really haven't done much this year. You know, if it's hard for me to imagine that if this game's played straight up, right, no turnovers, few penalties, it's hard for me to imagine LSU losing. It's why they're a near touchdown favorite in the ballgame. And it's just good all season long. You know, but if I can take you back to Auburn, right? LSU won that game 23-20, and if you remember it, it wasn't really as close as that. I know the score is what it is, but Auburn got kind of a garbage time score late, and they really put together one offensive drive the entire ball game. But if Stingley muffed a punt, Burrow threw a pick down around the goal line, LSU had a 4th and goal from the 1, went for it, threw a little tunnel screen to Jamar Chase. He got tackled right at the goal line. They kicked the field goal inside the 5. You know, honestly, the answer to the question is exactly what happened to Ohio State. You know, Ohio State led 16-0 in that game, and it probably should have been 21-0 and over. But they had some red zone opportunities, couldn't capitalize, had a few crucial turnovers, and when you do that against a good team, you open it for them to win. And so I think if Clemson gets it done, that's how they do it. And I've got Swain. I sound like the biggest homer in the world. Like, you know me a long time. Like,
yeah, man.
I don't talk like this. It's just, but when you get to the point where you've watched it 14 times,
yep,
where they've done it at Texas, at Bama, against Florida, against Auburn, in Atlanta against Georgia when the crowd was 80-20 and everyone said that's the best defense in college football, and then you go put up 63 in a semifinal game and set 25 records. It's like, man, like what else do I need to see to believe that they're really good?
They're good.
I mean, is this it? Is just beat the defending champ and then everyone will believe it? It's, you know, it's been an incredible team this year for LSU.
How are y'all walking around in Baton Rouge? Hold on.
Did you see the picture of the guy on Bourbon Street yesterday?
Oh yeah, I saw that, man. I saw that.
Thong with the tiger tail.
Oh boy, I saw that. He's getting a little too confident. And
overserved, man. Overserved.
Is that not like against the law to walk around like that? It should be.
What's that?
I said, isn't it against the law to walk around like that? No.
In New Orleans, nah, man. Bourbon Street, anything goes. Literally.
He has a thong on. That's it. That's all he has.
Well, I know. I saw it.
Ugh, boy.
I mean, Swain, it's not uncommon to see, completely bare chests on Bourbon Street. I mean, you've been there.
No, I haven't been there. I need to get there, not to see him, but to I guess experience what makes Bourbon Street so special. I've never been.
You've never been ever on Bourbon Street?
Not to Bourbon Street. No.
Swain, maybe I just take this for granted, man. You know, being from New Orleans, spending most of my life in Baton Rouge now, it's always right there. So, you know, if it's like you got an occasion or you got an anniversary or you got a birthday or you want to go party or something, just go to New Orleans, stay in the Quarter, you hit a few bars on Bourbon Street, Pato's, Piano Bar. Mardi Gras, it's all right there, man. Yeah, I guess I've just spent my whole life going. I just assume everybody has.
Maybe you should host me. Maybe you should take me out. Okay, all right, that sounds like a plan. What I was going to say is, how are y'all walking around Baton Rouge acting like Will Wade hasn't done anything wrong? You know what? I'm so tired of looking at his face, Moscona. I can't stand his face. Every time I see him, I just want to punch something. How is he still coaching, man?
What's he done wrong?
Matt. Okay. All right. I see how that's how we doing it. All right, Matt. Okay.
Here's the thing, Swain.
Okay.
You and I can each have our impressions of what might have happened.
Okay.
But I'll tell you this from my standpoint. Number one, there has been only one uncorroborated, unsubstantiated report. You basically had one outlet anonymously quote tapes that nobody's heard and are nondescript. You had another report from a coach at another school discussing a prospect that LSU didn't sign and a coach that doesn't work at LSU in connection with Will Wade. Like, you've had Naz Reid outwardly deny, 100% deny anything. And Javonte Smart, the other kid at the center of it, is still playing for LSU. So I guess my point is, if you're cynical in nature when it comes to dirty recruiting in college basketball, I get it. Don't misunderstand me. Like, you and I can each have our preconceived notions about what we think might have happened. And I would certainly say that I'm cynical, but I'm actually okay with it too. I just don't care what goes on in recruiting. That's maybe another conversation for a different day. But the circumstantial evidence exists on both sides of that conversation. And if you're LSU and you got a coach that's winning and there's nothing definitive that's been proven to suggest you should fire this coach, then why are you firing your successful coach?
I guess so, Matt. You're right. His face, though, it's his little smirk on his face.
He's a baby face, man. Is it that he's from Nashville?
No, I don't even care about that. It's just a little smirk on his face, man. All right, Ben. One last question, Matt, before we get you out of here, man. Ben, go ahead.
Man, I'm just interested to hear your thoughts on LSU's defense matching up with Clemson's offense, because obviously I do not envy the task of Brent Venables. I mean, he has to guard 5 options every time Joe Burrow runs a pass play and LSU runs a pass play, 5 legitimate pass catching options. But on the flip side, I mean, LSU has to defend Justin Ross and T. Higgins, Amari Rodgers, and Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence and his legs. Just your thoughts on how LSU's defense matches up against Clemson's offense, and then maybe a little special teams. Is there a big edge either way?
So oddly, and even every Clemson person I've talked to has acknowledged this, LSU has a pretty significant special teams edge. If you go look at Clemson, especially on field goals this year, they're a coin flip. I mean, it's like 12 of 21 on the season. It's not been good. So if it comes down to a kick, hold your breath. And LSU has kind of made the return game a non-factor. LSU's place kicker is a kid named Avery Atkins. He just kicks every ball through the end zone. So, and then LSU, when returning kickoffs, even if you pooch kick it, they're going to fair catch it. I mean, with this offense, LSU says, I'll just take the ball to 25 and we'll go 75 yards. We're not risking a fumble. So, as for Clemson's offense, it is interesting. I asked Ryan Clark this question. Ryan, I think a lot of people know, does a lot of work with ESPN and played at LSU. Ryan comes on my show every week, and I asked him about that matchup, and he's worked closely with a lot of those LSU defensive backs with Fulton and Stingley and dealt with those guys. He said this is actually one of those matchups that kind of favors LSU. As good as Higgins and Ross are, those are big 6'4" guys, and LSU has kind of recruited the bigger cornerback to deal with that style of receiver.
Mm-hmm.
The Bama quartet is more of a problem for LSU's secondary. I think here the consensus is, Travis Etienne. I mean, he's the linchpin.
Yeah.
If Clemson can, if that kid can run for 8 yards a carry against an LSU-based front, and then Tigers have to commit numbers to the box, that's when you really start to have a problem. So, I think 9 is the key. If you see ATN run the ball for 150 and have another 60 receiving, I think you're looking at a track meet in this ball game. But if LSU can keep 9 in check, I think that's their ticket. Ohio State forced 7 punts against Clemson in that Fiesta Bowl. If LSU can replicate that, if LSU can force 7 Clemson punts in this ball game, they'll win by double digits.
Yeah. That's how I look at the game too, Matt. Poor Clemson, man. We're not giving them any respect, but it is what it is.
Yeah, but you know what, Swain? Though I don't think it's that. I know Dabo's played that card, and it's what a lot of people here this week. I think nationally too. But it's not disrespecting Clemson. I think everyone can understand Lawrence is going to be the first pick, and Higgins and Ross are amazing, and Etienne's amazing, and Isaiah Simmons is a pterodactyl, and they got great players, and they're defending champs. No one's diminishing that. It's just like sometimes you run upon that moment in time where there's a team that is just that good, and it feels like that's what this LSU team is right now, that they got a chance to prove it tonight once and for all.
Any given day, man, anybody can beat anybody.
That's
so,
true.
Hey, you better go in there and play your game.
Like the 2001 SEC championship game.
Oh, man, I can't stand you. You stink. You stink, man. You stink. Now I got to go for Clemson just because of that comment, man. I don't know who.
Hey, man, LSU did y'all a favor because Miami was going to absolutely pile drive Tennessee in that championship game.
Hey, you never know. You never know, man. Any given day, right? Any given day.
Right, any given day. So.
You never know, man. You never know. Hey, enjoy yourself. Have fun. Be careful. Don't party too much because you got to work tomorrow, Matt.
That's very true, but I did do a wise thing. I have a hotel room in New Orleans tonight, so it will be a late night.
Oh, so you don't do a morning show, so you good to go.
Amen to that, brother. I'll never do morning radio again.
Matt, thanks so much, man. Have fun.
All right, see y'all.
See you. Matt Moscona, 104.5, Baton Rouge down there. I don't know who is best for Tennessee in this game. Is it LSU? Is it Clemson? I don't really know. I thought about this yesterday. I don't know the best case scenario for Tennessee. Tennessee's not
an argument for each side, right?
You can try, I guess. Yeah, I mean, Tennessee's not in it, so yeah, who cares as long as Tennessee's not in it? But
it affects recruiting.
You're recruiting against every school in the country. You're recruiting against every school in the SEC and every school that is 3, 4, 5 hour hours away.
Around you, yeah.
So who does it benefit more in this game for Tennessee? I don't know, man. I don't know. Something to think about. Gotta take a break.
Text Austin during the break and ask him who Tennessee's probably going to recruit more against in this next recruiting cycle.
Hey, man, that's probably your answer right there. Swain Event. Be right back.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Craving flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at your local grocery store. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gluten-free select varieties like the cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy small-town flavor in every bite. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
Fellas, I have a very important question to start the new year. Have you noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive? It could be from low T, or it could be from something else, like sleep apnea, or even low thyroid. Start your new year healthier with a quick and easy health assessment at Low T Center. They treat more than just low T, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, and more. It's covered by most health insurance. If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have weight gain, or loss of muscle, call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare. When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
If you want to chop it up with the fellas, call the Be Dry Waterproofing Hotline at 865-200-5503.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com. Hour 1 brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. I don't know who it's best for Tennessee fans winning this game tonight between LSU and Clemson. I don't know. I have no clue. But I think we will come up with an answer here at the end of the segment. But first, let's get to Rob, and then we'll get to Tramel. Rob, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Rob.
You know what gets me is listening to LSU people. In all honesty, that coach could be. I could be that coach. In all honesty, it doesn't. You got a once in a lifetime quarterback. You got a once in a lifetime set of receivers. Honestly, no big deal here. He's receiving. He's completing what 8%. Am I right? 8% rate.
Almost 80%. It's like I think it's like 77, 76, something like that.
The problem here is for people to think of this as a permanent type of deal. This is not permanent. This is not college football. This is more or less almost kind of like a video game. I think they win tonight. Personally, I accidentally put $20 they were going to win tonight. But I'm just saying it was accidentally because there was only 6.5 points. I really believe that they have a big win, but I also don't believe this is a permanent deal. I believe next year you sit there and go, well, maybe the coach was just good that 1 year. No, he has an incredible set of ingredients. And people need to quit mistaking that for permanency. There's not a permanency in this LSU team. They've always had talent. And Orgeron is what he looks like, a motivational speaker, not necessarily a great football mind.
I mean, I think our guest, Matt, did mention the fact that there will be a lot of guys leaving for the NFL. And the question is, what is he going to do, next year without Joe Burrow, without those wide receivers? And Jordan Jefferson was a 2-star. He was a 2-star wide receiver. And, yes, they have worked themselves into being a once-in-a-lifetime group of wide receivers, but it's not like Clemson where T. Higgins and Justin Ross and these guys came in as Under Armour All-Americans. Amari Rodgers was an Under Armour All-American. Ross was a 5-star. Higgins was a 5-star. I mean, Justin Jefferson was a 2-star. You can go look it up. But no, I don't think Matt said anything like LSU was going to be there for a very, very long time. Matt's always been very skeptical of his own team. He went to LSU, graduated LSU, but the first of that phone call, I reminded Matt, I'm the one who was like, yeah, man, Orgeron, he's going to be okay. Because all you have to do, you don't have to be Nick Saban to win a championship. Just be a great manager. Just be a great CEO. Dabo's proven that you can do that, win a championship. And Orgeron has proven that you can do that and get to a championship. Can't take away what Orgeron has done as a head coach. He saw what needed to be done. He put his ego to the side, which if you coach at that level, you got to have some type of ego. He put that to the side and hired people that was going to help him win. It's not about him. It's about winning. And you got to give credit to Coach Orgeron. I don't care how he sounds, what he did in the past. He's done a great job this year. Great job. Let's get to Tramel. Tramel, good morning.
Hey, what it do?
What's up, man?
Haters don't like it. Here comes the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm sorry, Brad.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know.
It's okay, Brad.
It's all good, man.
At least you lost to the Titans, though. The in-state school.
Yeah. I knew I was going to take
team.
some heat, but at least it's the in-state team, right?
Yeah, man. At least everybody around you is happy.
Hey, the thing is, man, I watched football last night, and they tried to kill Jimmy last night, didn't they?
Kill who?
Yes. Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, Jimmy Johnson.
I thought Jimmy Johnson was about to fall over.
Him and Bill Cowher.
I thought he was going to have a heart attack too, man.
Attaboy worthy.
Oh, it's definitely an attaboy, but it almost turned into a bad moment on national television.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't breathe.
I'm like, oh, my God, they done killed Jimmy.
He couldn't breathe, man. He couldn't breathe.
Cowher got choked up, too.
You had Howie Long ask him, do I need to go get your inhaler?
Man.
Bro, I thought he was dying, man.
His hair's still perfect.
Yeah.
Still
Right?
perfect. Still perfect.
Man, it's the state of Tennessee, man. I'm loving what's happening here, man. It feels good, man. It's tingly out though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Lady Vols winning. The men's basketball team won against South Carolina. Tennessee football got us in our feelings in the right way. Tennessee Titans winning. I mean, hey, it's good vibes right now.
And the crowd changed to it's great to be a Tennessee Vols to it's great to be a Tennessee Titans. And they had that little watch party.
Oh, I didn't see the watch party, but I'm pretty sure, man. Titan fans, I mean, they travel, they're passionate, they show up.
Yeah,
I think it's one of the best fan bases in the league.
And it's gonna be tough next week, man.
You better believe it.
But I mean, I think we kind of got a little blueprint. We got to change up some things Oklahoma's a better passer. But Dean Pease and Mike Rabel, man, and what I say about Arthur Smith, man, that guy is a play caller, man.
He is.
That guy is a play caller, man. He ain't gonna be there next year with stuff.
He may not be. He may not be, but all the jobs are. Yeah, all the jobs are taken with no Eric Bieniemy getting opportunity.
Bieniemy, that dude is a beast.
He is,
You know
man.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Byron Bill O'Brien and change coaches. They were talking about Byron Bill O'Brien and hire Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Man. Get up with y'all boys, man. I'm on my way to Nashville, man, to go get the tip checked out.
Enjoy. Be careful. Hope everything works out. What are the Browns doing? Let me just move on. I don't even want to talk about them right now.
Intriguing hire.
Yeah, that's a word for it. Who's next?
Chuck.
Chuck, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Chuck.
Hey, man. Just to let you know, I'm stuck here in the state of South Carolina. So this game tonight, man, the bad taste that this Clemson team has left in my mouth since Fulmer was fired. I don't know. You probably know this, Swain, but wasn't Mike Hamilton a Clemson fan or a Clemson graduate?
He graduated from Tennessee. I'm not sure if he got a second degree from somewhere else, but I know he graduated from Tennessee.
Well, Clemson fans up here doesn't realize how much a bad Tennessee team has played into the rise of their program.
Yeah.
From firing Fulmer to Taj Boyd going to Clemson, and then so on and so on. Now you see the flavor they got of Tennessee players, kids that should be at Tennessee. They're in Clemson, man. It's just I don't know. Ever since he was fired, Clemson has been able to cherry pick some of the best players from the state, and it's just I just can't stand them. There's only one team I'd pull for playing against Clemson playing against. That'd be I wouldn't mind seeing them beat Alabama, but other than that, I hope they get whacked.
I understand that coming from your perspective, living right there in South Carolina. You and Vol Nation got to hit those Clemson fans, brag. I understand that, but if you're Tennessee, if you're a Tennessee fan, not saying you have to cheer for anybody, but how does Clemson winning benefit Tennessee? How does LSU winning benefit Tennessee? Which team winning makes it harder for Tennessee to get back to where they want to be? Which team winning will make it harder for Tennessee to recruit? That's the question.
I know one of Tennessee's big-time targets for next year's class is big 5-star defensive tackle Peyton Page from North Carolina. Tennessee and Clemson are in his top 5, and Tennessee and Clemson are believed to be the two teams to beat. So maybe we need an LSU win.
Who's the biggest threat to Tennessee? Is it Clemson or LSU? I kind of feel
I think it's Clemson.
Yeah, even though they're not in the SEC,
they're closer.
I feel like it is Clemson, man.
I was saying there's an argument for each side, I think.
I really believe it's Clemson. I think Clemson
too.
gives Tennessee the biggest headache. They're the biggest pain in the butt for Tennessee.
Especially recently.
And I'll be honest, I have moved past T. Higgins, Amari Rodgers, Trevor Lawrence, and all those guys at Clemson. I don't get mad about it anymore. I've moved on.
I get mad at Butch, not the players.
Yeah. I moved on all of it. I mean, it happened. It is what it is. I'm done. Just like I'm done talking about Lane Kiffin 10 years ago. Like I'm good now. I'm good now. But it's a lesson. It's a lesson for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years. But I think LSU winning may be better for Tennessee fans than Clemson winning. As crazy that sounds. We gotta have like SEC pride today. Is that what we gotta do?
I know I will find myself rooting for Clemson just because I like T. Higgins and Amari Rodgers. And individuals kind of tend to lead me towards cheering for a team.
So Mike Hamilton did get a degree from Tennessee. Let's see if he got one from Clemson. He did too get one from Clemson. So those guys usually come up with a couple different degrees, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like the way y'all guys agreed at the same time. But yeah, he graduated Clemson. He went undergrad at Clemson.
I've made my mind up. I want LSU to win because LSU winning gives Alabama HE double hockey sticks. LSU winning will make life tougher on Alabama, which in turn benefits Tennessee.
Oh boy, this is so weird being a fan.
So many levels.
So many levels. Swain event.
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain event app.
It's going to be mostly cloudy today with a high of 62 and a low of 54. Showers are likely tomorrow with a high near 67 and a low around 56. Look for more of the same on Wednesday with a high in the upper 60s. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by Be Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, Be Dry can help. BeDry.com. Be Dry is celebrating 60 years of protecting homes across the U.S. They are the basement and crawl space experts. There has been historic rainfall in East Tennessee recently. If you are experiencing wet foundation walls, puddles on your floor, or water where your floor and wall meet, then you should call Be Dry. They have over 500,000 customers nationwide. Be Dry gives free estimates for all homeowners, financing is available, and if you mention the Swain event, Be Dry will give you $500 off a full perimeter basement waterproofing solution. Wet basement? Better call Be Dry, 865-588-0454 or online at BeDry.com.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Due to a special purchase, Beatty Chevrolet has over 100 pre-owned crossovers and SUVs at tremendous savings during the $1 Million Markdown event. 100 crossovers and SUVs from Chevrolet, Ford, Nissan, Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, Mazda, and more. All makes and models starting at $89.95. And we'll buy your vehicle on the spot. Plus, get the Beatty warranty for life during the $1 Million Markdown. Only at Beatty Chevrolet in Knoxville or shop BeattyChevrolet.com. Sale prices plus tax, title, and license.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Homes, remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy.
All right, it's time for Attaboy here in the Swain event, highlighting great positive stories and had a lot of good ones over the weekend. Ben, I'll let you go first. What you got?
I am giving Jared Garantano an attaboy. He visited East Tennessee Children's Hospital last week. I believe it was Thursday or Friday. There was a post going around social media. I saw it on Facebook, screenshotted it, tweeted it out from my personal account, and then I saw later that East Tennessee Children's Hospital tweeted it out themselves. So not a super in-depth attaboy, but shout out to Jared Garantano. I think it was the day that Trey Smith announced that he was returning to school last Thursday. JG was at his press conference, and then later that day, JG was over at East Tennessee Children's Hospital. I just think it's really cool because Tennessee's fan base may have an opinion on JG as a quarterback, but those kids in that hospital, they don't see the stats. They don't recognize the interceptions, the goal line play at Alabama. all those kids see is the quarterback at the University of Tennessee. They see somebody who wears number 2 on the football field, who is the quarterback, has a power T on the side of his helmet, and I know JG just absolutely made the day, made the week, the year, the month, whatever it may be, just made the life of those kids that he went over and just spent a couple of minutes with. So kudos to Jarrett Garantano doing that. And then have to give an attaboy to one of my favorite coaches of all time, Bill Cowher, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, the greatest football organization in the NFL. One of the best, if not the best. Just an awesome coach for the Steelers for so many years, and it was really cool to see him not introduced to the Hall of Fame, but on CBS there. It was before the game or halftime or somewhere, but they told him that he was going to be in the Hall of Fame. Just a really cool, touching moment, and it's always cool to me to see those macho guys get emotional about the game of football. So I thought that was cool, and attaboy to Coach Cowher.
Yeah, CBS Sports, Fox Sports deserve the attaboy as they partnered with the Pro Football Hall of Fame to make these moments really special for Bill Cowher and Jimmy Johnson. So I just echo that latter attaboy from you, Ben. Great job, great setup, and it's good to see some guys, some hardcore coaches, especially one like Bill Cowher, to get a little bit emotional.
That man that you see, CBS, Bill Cowher, he had on a red jacket, and then with Jimmy Johnson, he had on a blue jacket. That man is Pro Football Hall of Fame president David Baker. So when you see David Baker creep up on you, that means good news. That means you're probably going to be told that you have made the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame. Amazing accomplishment for Jimmy Johnson and Bill Cowher. Hour 2 coming up here in the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Hour 1 is brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Stay with us.
Touchdown or turnover is up next on the Swain event.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
In debt? In too deep? Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union says, stop treading water and get out of the deep end. If you've got debt, make a splash and come get some cash. If Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union can refinance your car, boat, camper, motorcycle, credit cards, personal or home loan, they'll pay you up to $500. So come take the plunge right now. Refinance your loans. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union will pay you. 5 convenient locations. Visit atfcu.com. Equal housing lender.
Touchdown or Turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Touchdown Turnover backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong, better rates and better service. Ben, I saw you over there early jotting down basketball notes. So here it comes.
It's not pretty basketball notes.
Here it comes. Well, this touchdown turnover may not be pretty either. Touchdown turnover. Rick Barnes will bench Jordan Bowden. Meaning, do we see a different lineup that will exclude Jordan Bowden? Rick Barnes has some strong comments about Jordan Bowden, who continues to struggle shooting the basketball. Do we see a starting lineup without Jordan Bowden in it? Touchdown turnover.
Can we clarify that we are speaking about the next game with the starting lineup, or do you want to put a date on it or anything like that?
Hey man, it could be next game. It could be 3 games from now. It could be 10 games from now. I mean, he's a senior. He's been starting. Do we see him get benched to the point where he loses his starting position? His minutes can change, and you may not pay attention to that. Most people may not see the difference. But if someone is starting in his place, that is really significant. That opens up people's eyes a little bit more when you see someone else starting except for Jordan Bowden. So, touchdown turnover. He will get benched and lose his starting job at some point this season. Touchdown turnover.
I think turnover, because I think at some point Jordan Bowden is going to snap out of it. The missed layup and the very last 3 that he took against South Carolina over the weekend were really bad misses, especially the layup, and then that last shot that he took, the ball didn't even touch the stinking rim. So those are 2 really bad misses. But I thought a lot of his shots are just off. Just for whatever reason, he is just missing his wide open jumpers. And I think at some point Jordan Bowden is too good of a scorer, a shooter, to just continue to go 1 of 17 from the field, which is what he did against South Carolina over the weekend. And according to ESPN Stats and Info, Jordan Bowden, going 1 of 17 from the floor and 1 of 12 from 3, became the first SEC player over the last 25 seasons to take 17 shots and make 1 or fewer field goals. I mean, he has been all-time SEC level bad. I mean, it is just horrific how bad he has been, and he is a better player than we are seeing. So I say turnover. I think he will snap out of it at some point. And to be more specific, I don't think we'll see a starting lineup on Wednesday night when Tennessee is in Athens, or I guess in Atlanta to take on Georgia. But we will see his minutes decrease. We saw it against South Carolina over the weekend. I looked up in the middle of the second half, and Jordan Bowden was on the bench, and I thought to myself, he has Bowden, Vescovi, and Josiah on the bench right now. Josiah and Vescovi are dealing with foul trouble. Bowden is not dealing with foul trouble. Okay, maybe he is just resting him for that last stretch of the game, because that was middle of the second half, and then I thought he was just resting him up for the last 5 to 6 minutes of the game. But then, as you mentioned, Swain, Rick Barnes comes out and has some pretty strong comments following the game, said that if Jordan Bowden's not playing well, we are not going to leave him out there. We're not going to do it. We're going to give other guys a chance to miss some of those shots too, or take some of those shots. If they missed them, they missed them. So in the short time, No, I do not think that, in the short term, I do not think that Bowden gets benched against Georgia. And I don't think he will at some point either.
I'll say turnover as well, but I'll tell you right now, Barnes isn't afraid to.
Nope.
He's not afraid to. I think that message is not only to the team, not only to Bowden, like, hey, your minutes are going to start going down if you continue to be off. But shooters got to shoot their way out of a slump, just like hitters got to hit their way out of a slump, and we can compare those to numerous athletics. But I would say turnover. Bowden's too important on both ends, especially when he gets it going offensively, but defensively as well. He's still playing pretty good, brings good length on the perimeter. So I say turnover, but Barnes isn't afraid to do it, boys. So I wouldn't be shocked if it happened.
Very strong words from Rick Barnes. I don't see how you don't do it at some point during the season if you said this if you're Rick Barnes. Rick Barnes also said about Santiago Vescovi that he wasn't going to play almost. But then, Lamonte Turner is done for the season, and his tune changed a little bit, and you understand why. But Jordan Bowden, who I love as a player and what he means to Knoxville. He's a Knoxville kid playing at Tennessee. Doesn't get in trouble, represents Tennessee the right way. And if you're South Carolina, you got to be kicking yourself. You allow Tennessee to beat you. Jordan Bowden only giving you 6 points and shooting 1 for 17 from the field, 1 for 12 from 3. That's a strong comments. I'm going to say touchdown. I think at some point that they will put in a different person for Jordan Bowden as a starter.
So you think he continues to struggle?
I think at some point they will put in a different player to start the game, just to help him get going.
It helped him last year.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
He's better off the bench for whatever reason.
Yves Pons started the season last year, and Jordan Bowden came off the bench, and then Yves was really just invisible out there on the court offensively, and so they put Jordan Bowden back out there. But I don't know if his minutes change if he does not start, but I think a change is coming at the starting lineup, and hopefully that gets him going. Hopefully, but I'm gonna say touchdown. I think at some point you will see a different starting five.
The stats that you saw me jotting down earlier: Jordan Bowden through the first 5 games of the season, in which Tennessee was 5-0. Tennessee did not lose when Jordan Bowden was shooting 46% from the field and 50% from the three-point line in those first 5 games. In the 10 games since, Tennessee is 5-5. Jordan Bowden is shooting 28.8% from the field and 21.2% from 3 over the last 10 games.
How many games did Lamonte Turner play?
I don't know off the top of my head. I can look it up, though. Lamonte's last game was Jacksonville State, so Tennessee's played 15 games, and they've played 4 games since then, so 11.
Okay.
I hate it for Jordan Bowden.
I do too.
Because he works so hard. He puts up so many shots. I mean, to have the green light that he has, that means you've earned that from the work you've put in practice. And now he's shooting the ball, hoping that it goes in, rather than shooting it knowing it's going to go in. And he's a senior.
I think it's obvious he's thinking too much. I think that
with a guy thinking too much, is that the move you want to go with as a coach?
Yes, because I think they think less. Because I think Jordan Bowden is going into each game thinking, I'm starting, I'm the senior, Lamonte's out. Yes, we have Santiago. Yes, we have Josiah, who is coming along, but they're still freshmen. I'm the senior. I have to put the team on my back. I have to win us this basketball game. I think that's what's going through Bowden's head right now, and I think it's letting him. It's getting to him.
There's really not an excuse for Jordan Bowden to be dribbling the ball into double teams off his legs. I mean, Santiago, okay, he just got here. He's still adjusting to the type of athleticism that's on this side of the water in the SEC. Like, he is not going to go up against another point guard that he's faster than or quicker than. So he has to be a little bit crafty offensively in how he gets the shot off and how he runs the offense. And we've seen some good moments from Santiago. We've seen some bad moments from Santiago. But if you're Jordan Bowden and you've played some point guard last year. You've brought the ball up this year. You can't dribble into a double team right at half court. You know the rules. You cannot do that. So you can't let your poor shooting affect you in other areas where you should be on point at.
Which he wasn't until Saturday. He had been playing really good defense until Saturday. If Rick Barnes were to make a change to the starting lineup, and I don't think that he will in the short term Wednesday night against Georgia, although I think that I would, just because there is a history of Bowden being better coming off of the bench. If Barnes were to make a change to the lineup, and I do realize that Bowden is still going to play heavy minutes, A, because Tennessee doesn't really have any other players, B, I think because Tennessee doesn't have any other players, you just continue to trot him out there and just pray that he finds a rhythm. But if Barnes were to make a change to the starting lineup, who all would you like to see get a chance to go in there and spark the offense to start the game?
If it's against Georgia, it's Devontae Gaines for me because the length he brings on the perimeter and the effort he's been given on the defensive side. He's not there yet completely defensively, but he's putting forth the effort that's needed.
I'm not doing it against Georgia because
Anthony Edwards.
Correct.
He's been struggling. You want to talk about slumps? He's close to being in a slump like Jordan Bowden.
Yeah, I'm not doing that this game. But yeah, Devontae Gaines, Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson has done a pretty good job offensively. He hasn't been terrible defensively, so I would go with those guys. But I would have them on a short leash. You know, this is just to help Jordan Bowden not put so much pressure on himself to start the game and kind of see the game a little bit differently from the bench in the first 2 minutes, and then get yourself in there and start making some plays. It's not a punishment. It's actually to try to help him. So even if he doesn't start, I don't see him sitting on the bench that long. But I wouldn't do it against Georgia because I don't see anybody that can stay in front of Anthony Edwards except for Jordan Bowden. I don't see anybody else that could be able to do that, honestly.
And the good news is that Georgia really only has Anthony Edwards. They have a couple of good, intriguing freshman prospects, but in terms of the Georgia basketball team, they go as Anthony Edwards goes. And over the last couple of games, he was a little bit better against Auburn, was 6 of 15 from the field, but was still 2 of 9 from 3, was 3 of 9 against Kentucky. Against Memphis, he was 4 of 17. Against Georgia Southern, 10 of 20. SMU, 6 of 17. Arizona State, 5 of 12. So he's the potential number 1 overall pick in the draft, upcoming draft, but he's not playing like it lately. But you have to stick Bowden on Anthony Edwards. If I'm Rick Barnes, I'm almost telling Jordan Bowden, don't even worry about offense this game. Just go out there and follow Anthony Edwards around. Be able to smell his breath all game long. Know what he had for breakfast. Know what he had for lunch. Know what he had for a pregame snack. I mean, you stick to Anthony Edwards right booty cheek the whole game. You don't leave him.
The pressure is different though for Jordan Bowden and Anthony Edwards as far as being in this slump, because Anthony Edwards, he was brought to Georgia, could have went anywhere in the country. He has a green light to keep shooting it, and even if he doesn't make it, even if his team loses, he's still going to be the number 1 pick in the draft.
Most likely.
Yeah. I mean, he's good, and he's still going to get buckets because he's going to get 17, 15 shot attempts. He's going to get to the rim. He's not shooting the ball well from 3. He's settling too much for the perimeter jump shot. He is crafty. He is athletic. He's big enough to finish around the rim. He can get to the rim anytime he wants to. He just doesn't want to because he has a pretty jump shot, and so he thinks he can make it. I think there's more pressure on Jordan Bowden being a senior, being the guy now that Lamonte Turner is gone, being from Knoxville, and him having to have good games for his team to win. Anthony Edwards has to do that too, but Anthony Edwards is just here for 1 year. He's good. A lot of pressure on Jordan Bowden, but I think he plays against Georgia, starts against Georgia, and he probably is the only guy who can guard Anthony Edwards.
I think Josiah's length could give Anthony Edwards a problem.
Yeah, Josiah's good. Josiah's physical. Josiah and Jordan Bowden, you're right.
It's crazy, though, as much as Tennessee basketball has been struggling. I mean, they have wins over Missouri and South Carolina now, 2 wins in a row. You have winnable games against Georgia, Vandy, and Ole Miss coming up. I mean, going into the Kansas game at the end of the month, you could be on a 5-game winning streak. And even with their struggles, I expect Tennessee to beat Georgia on Wednesday night. Georgia's not a very good basketball team. Vanderbilt just lost their star player for the season, Aaron Nesmith.
Yep.
Tennessee should absolutely win at Vanderbilt on Saturday. And then, Ole Miss is a solid basketball team, but that game's at home. You're going to have a good crowd behind your back. I expect you to win that game too. So going into the Kansas game, they should be on a 5-game winning streak, in my opinion.
Hour 2 brought to you by Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com. Stay with us.
Are taking guesses. The Swain event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
For a limited time only, Hiller is offering 0% interest financing for up to 48 months on qualifying high-efficiency HVAC systems. With no down payment required, expert installations, and convenient monthly payments, now is the perfect time to schedule. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes. Around the SEC, powered by 42nd Street Marketing, your game-winning play call for design, marketing, and branding.
All right, it's time for Around the SEC. Ben, where are we going today?
We have a lot of really good nuggets to talk about today, and I realize we tend to go off on a tangent on a couple of these topics, so if we need to, we can talk about it tomorrow as well. I mentioned before last break when we were talking about Vanderbilt basketball. Vanderbilt forward Aaron Nesmith is out indefinitely with a stress fracture in his foot. This was according to the Vanderbilt Hustler. Said that he had a stress fracture in his foot and will likely miss the remainder of the college basketball season. This comes 2 days after Nesmith, who leads the SEC in scoring with 23 points per game, played 39 minutes in a loss at Auburn. He will seek a second opinion from a doctor, but Jerry Stackhouse did come out after the loss to Texas A&M on Saturday and confirm the initial reports. And it looks like because Aaron Nesmith's draft stock is so high, he's going to be a first-round pick, that he is going to call it a season and go the Darius Garland route that Garland went last year. So unfortunate news for Aaron Nesmith and really bad news for a Vanderbilt basketball team that was really relying solely on Aaron Nesmith. So I hate to put it this way, but that is good news for Tennessee basketball going into Tennessee Vandy's matchup on Saturday. Looking at a couple of other SEC scores real quick from the weekend. Kentucky beat Alabama 76-67. Auburn beat Georgia by 22 points.
Auburn good.
Auburn is good. That Isaac Okoro kid.
Auburn's good.
Auburn is unfortunately good.
Best team in the SEC. Not
Great
even close.
coach.
Not even close.
I agree with you. Texas A&M scored 69 points, nice, and beat Vanderbilt by 19 points in Memorial Gym. Arkansas beat Ole Miss 76-72. Arkansas trailed Ole Miss for most of that game, but was able to overcome the deficit and win that game. And then LSU, on a Skylar Mays buzzer beater, beat Mississippi State 60-59, and Missouri.
They finally win.
Did they win?
Big win.
They
Finally?
beat the brakes off of Florida. Missouri beats Florida 91-75. A, good job, Konzo. B, what in the world are you doing, Mike White? And you ready for my next hot take? You ready for this hot take?
What you got?
The next head basketball coach of the Florida Gators will be John Beilein.
From the Cavs?
From the Cavs.
Former Michigan coach.
Yeah, Beilein's not going to make it in the NBA.
Nope.
He going to ship his butt right back to college.
Yep.
When they brought him in to rebuild.
Or maybe Billy Donovan. Maybe Billy Donovan goes back.
But point being, I don't think Mike White will be the head coach at Florida next year.
On that note, when's the last time you saw a Konzo Martin coach basketball team drop 91?
Ever?
In regulation.
Have they ever scored 91?
I think it takes 2 games. What? How much did they score in that Georgetown game when Konzo was the coach here?
30-something, 36, 37.
I wonder how many points we scored in that game plus the next game. Do you think it added up to be 91?
I bet you the 3-game span of the Georgetown game, next game, game after, they didn't score 91 points.
I got to look that up.
What year was that?
I'm on it.
All right, Brad, you look that up while I'll there are 2 really good football nuggets that we need to mention. The first is that although LSU and Clemson are playing in the national championship tonight, LSU already has a win on the day because Joe Brady has agreed to a contract extension with LSU, the Tigers' first-year pass game coordinator and one of the hottest assistants in the country, has agreed to a new contract with the school through a memorandum of agreement. Multiple sources told Ross Dellinger of Sports Illustrated the agreement's parameters remain in flux, but Brady would, as of now, receive a 3-year contract and a salary that is expected to more than double his current earnings of $410,000. The deal protects LSU from losing Brady to college assistant jobs, provides him flexibility for a jump to a college head coaching position or the NFL, where many believe his future lies.
Guys, 2012 we played Georgetown. The next game after Georgetown was at Virginia.
Oh, Lord.
You know how Virginia plays.
Was Tony Bennett there then?
Yes.
Yeah. So we scored 36 points against Georgetown. 38 points against Virginia the next week for a total of 74 in 2 games.
And then found a way to score to 69, nice, against Wichita State in their next game and beat number 23 Wichita State.
Yep.
That is the definition of the Konzo Martin era.
Trey Golden dropped 25 that game.
Wow. But congratulations to Konzo, though, because Florida beat us out for the grad transfer from Virginia Tech. What's his name again? Big boy?
Blackshear. Kerry Blackshear.
Kerry Blackshear.
Kerry
That's
Black, I suck at basketball.
Ben. That boy's a player.
What did Ben just do? What's Ben talking about?
I wanted to say Kerry Blackish, but that's not radio appropriate.
Hello.
You're right. if we were on a different platform without FCC laws, that would be a great one, though.
Yes, it would.
Yeah, I just didn't know where you was going with that. I get it now. I get it now, Ben. We good, man.
But I also get your point in saying that if Tennessee had Kerry Blackshear, I'm top 5 SEC team right now.
I mean, maybe. I don't know about the guard play, but maybe.
Assuming he's playing within Barnes' system and not ISO ball, yeah.
That's a good point, which appears to be something that he does quite often.
Speaking of college ball, we going to bring up this game that happened yesterday?
I mean, the Blue Bloods are not looking great this year. You look at North Carolina, and I meant to give Roy Williams the attaboy because, coaches have the biggest egos. And a guy like Roy Williams, who's been coaching 30-plus years, as a national champion, as a Hall of Famer, for him to be emotional about causing his team to lose the game because he felt like it was his fault. Clemson had never went to Chapel Hill and beat North Carolina at their home court, and they did that. And they did it in overtime. Roy Williams was so distraught because he said he forgot to tell his players to foul before the three-point shot went in from Clemson and sent it to overtime. So I just want to give him an attaboy because we don't see coaches do that. Usually coaches throw their players under the bus. They don't take full responsibility, and Roy Williams did that. But the Blue Bloods are struggling. You mentioned the Michigan State game.
Yeah.
Purdue winning 71-42. That is pretty crazy. Real quick before we get to DR Vol, the other big SEC news, in addition to Joe Brady getting a contract extension there at LSU that will allow LSU to keep him over any other college assistant job. Georgia has a quarterback. Jamie Newman, a transfer quarterback from Wake Forest. The dual-threat quarterback announced his decision via Twitter on Thursday, likely filling a major void for the Bulldogs in 2019. Newman led the Demon Deacons to an 8-5 record in 2019, his first and only season as the full-time starter. He completed 60% of his passes, threw for 2,868 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. He also did quite a bit of damage on the ground, piling up 574 yards and 6 touchdowns on 180 carries, and that includes sacks as well. He started all 13 games for Wake Forest this past season.
Biggest difference I see for this guy. Closing speed of defensive backs in the SEC compared to the ACC. Is his arm strength good enough to throw to the sideline, across the field, from one hash to the opposite side on an out route? That's what I'm intrigued to see from Jamie Newman. But he's got promise.
He's really good.
Mark Richt thinks he is going to be the best quarterback in the SEC. Mark Richt tweeted out, "I have been watching Jamie Newman all season with the ACC network. Georgia just landed a great one. I predict he will be the best quarterback in the SEC."
I mean,
it's high praise. We'll see what he does.
He's good.
Yeah.
Man, don't get me wrong now. He's good.
I'm not trying to take away from with that analysis. That's the one thing I'm intrigued to see.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to have a lot of work with those wide receivers. He's going to come in and kind of win that locker room because that's what makes Jake Fromm so special. It's the other things outside of the stats that make Jake Fromm so special. And so Jamie Newman coming in and being the grad transfer option for Georgia at quarterback, I think he's gonna be good. I just don't know how well he's going to be. I know you look at Mizzou, and Mizzou brought in Kelly Bryant, did not work out. So it's a toss up. And anytime Mark Richt talks, I listen. Mark Richt is he's a winner. He's a winner, and he knows the quarterback position. That's kind of what he played and coached before he was the head coach of Georgia. Let's get to the phones, and let's get to DR Vol. DR Vol, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are y'all?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. What do you think takes longer, Ben, find something in the fridge, or this team to find a shot?
Probably Ben in the fridge.
Ben's fridge has been stocked nice and well the last week or so.
D'Arval was talking about that time you got something from home and you thought that your wife ate it or didn't put it in there, but it was in there the whole time.
Yeah, I thought that she forgot my leftover Thanksgiving food in Huntsville.
Yeah, it was in there the whole time. I think that's what D'Arval was referring to.
Guys, it's like visual ambient at times, don't you think?
What's that?
This team's offense like visual ambient at times.
Oh, Tennessee's offense, basketball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just weird that Santiago is the best option offensively.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just got here a couple days ago, and he is the leading scorer. He is the best three-point shooter. He is the best option. And sometimes he gets careless with the basketball, and you want to kind of beat your head over the table. But at the same time, he makes great passes, and when he's open, that shot's falling.
Yeah. It's just a long season. I feel like I'm back in the Quan zone again, the way our offense is moving.
I don't know about that one, man. I don't know about that one. We get movement. I mean, guys are getting open shots. They're just not making them.
It makes me sick about Bowden. He's been one of my favorite players, and I guess when he's got to be the one or two guy, I don't know if he's not capable or if it's kind of like a JG thing. It's a mentality. I don't know.
I think it's all mental.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm about to roll into work. I will say I learned one thing from the playoffs this weekend, and that's Baltimore's number one seed. It's kind of like Brad's jersey wore Friday. They're both easy to knock off. See you guys.
That was well played, D'Arval.
Just hold on. We're going home.
Yeah, the brand new Ed Reed jersey is 0-1. 0-1 the playoffs.
That was a good one.
It's hard to do these things alone.
How was Jimmy Graham's catch a first down yesterday?
It wasn't.
You review it and you still call it a first down? Wow. Let's go back to the phones and let's bring in Turkey Man. Turkey Man, good morning.
Gobble, gobble.
Turkey Man. Going once. Going twice. Call us back, Turkey Man. 865-255-03B Dry Waterproofing Hotline. We will go to the text box after this.
Just hold on, we're going home. It's hard to do these things alone. Just hold on.
Looking for a different way to enjoy the Swain event? Then check out Swain Event TV, driven by Toyota Knoxville and ToyotaKnoxville.com. Follow the show on Periscope and Facebook Live. Don't just hear the show, see the show. That's Swain Event TV. While the players are gearing up for the gridiron, it's time for you to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Peter Millar, and all of those retro logos you love. And the 2 for $28 t-shirt deal? Game changer. And don't forget about the rest of your game day crew. There are plenty of options for the entire family and to upgrade that tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com. It's football time in Tennessee.
Hey there, Swain Event listeners. The new year is here, and it's that time for new beginnings and adventure, which may include buying, selling, or investing in real estate. If this is part of your 2020 plan, then give me a call, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty, 865-694-5904, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
Fellas, I have a very important question to start the new year. Have you noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive? It could be from low T, or it could be from something else, like sleep apnea, or even low thyroid. Start your new year healthier with a quick and easy health assessment at Low T Center. They treat more than just low T, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, and more. It's covered by most health insurance. If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have weight gain, or loss of muscle, call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Craving flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at your local grocery store. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gluten-free select varieties like the cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy small-town flavor in every bite. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
Join the Swain event at Dead End Barbecue on Wednesday, February 5th to celebrate the Vault's victories on the recruiting trail. Enjoy a special barbecue breakfast and listen to Jason Swain and the guys break down each signee during this special edition of the Swain event live from Dead End Barbecue. Former players will be on hand as well as great guests. What better way to celebrate the 2020 signing class than enjoying some delicious barbecue and hanging out with the Swain event? Spend National Signing Day with the Swain event and Dead End Barbecue.
If you aren't following the Swain event on Twitter, then are you even on Twitter? Hit that follow button. It's the right thing to do.
Golly, man, can we play any more Drake? Brad's gonna lose his mind. Drake is struck again. He struck again, Brad. The Drake curse.
I heard this is Brad Matthews' favorite Drake song.
That's that Hotline Bling.
Going home.
Oh,
Going home, Brad.
You're such a 21-year-old sorority girl.
Boy, you know I was playing there.
North Alabama Vols says, what's the latest news on Jeremy Banks? Love the show. Go Vols. There's no news that I know of, but Jeremy Banks, anticipate him being back. He's still connected to this program. He may not officially be on the roster. He was dismissed months ago, but he's still connected.
On Friday, Jeremy Pruitt made an appearance on John and Jimmy there on WNML, and Jimmy asked him about Jeremy Banks, and Pruitt, Mr. Coach Speak, said that he will not talk about players who are not current players, but I quoting him, I will say that Jeremy is doing everything he needs to do off the field, and I feel like he is a young man that has a lot of potential in this world. So I think you can read between the lines there.
Hey, fair question, fair answer. If you are the interviewer, you have to ask that question, considering there's so much, smoke there. Jeremy Banks seems to be very positive about his opportunities returning. You can look at his social media accounts, but if you're Jeremy Pruitt, you don't comment on anybody who's not part of your program. So certainly understand both sides of it. But I think Banks will be back. And there's times when you just don't give up on somebody. And I think Banks has not done anything that bad to where you give up on him completely. You don't just gloss over it because you understand the sacrifices and how tough it is to be a police officer. And Jeremy Banks, being from where he's from, they view police officers a little bit differently than most of us. And that doesn't discount the many cases around the country where you have police officers not doing the right thing. And they are abusing their power. But most of them are doing a really, really good job. And if something were to happen in this house right now, they will be the first people I call. But there are some who are rogue. Simple as that. And so Jeremy Banks needs to learn. He needs to surround himself with positive people. This is a great opportunity, not just to play football, but just to be around like-minded people who want to be successful in life. And he can learn. I think he has a lot to offer. I think Tennessee has a lot to offer him, help him grow as a young man. So that way one day he'll be a husband, he'll be a father, he'll be a productive citizen. So That's the most important thing, not how many tackles can he have for Tennessee next year, or how many rushing yards can he have for Tennessee next year. It's about him being a better person. I think he's already becoming a better person just in a few months since the incident or since he was dismissed. But do not have any news right now. Alex in North Carolina says, bruh, y'all gonna make Brad quit. Honestly, I've been pretty nice. I mean, I think we've been pretty nice. You should have saw when Seth and the Falcons lost a couple of years ago. I had a gift basket for him with soup, balloon.
Yeah, where my Krispy Kremes at?
I was going to bring you Krispy Kreme donuts and a gift basket of sorts, and then I remembered that you weren't there for me during my most difficult sports moment of 2019.
But did I tell you I was going to be bringing you something?
No, but you didn't. So why would I bring you something?
Because you offered.
I didn't offer. You offered me to go get it,
and you
for
agreed.
You. I was being sarcastic.
Oh, that sarcastic font again.
Well, I was being sarcastic font with him when I mentioned that Ryan Tannehill or that Jonnu Smith and Khalif Raymond bailed out Ryan Tannehill. That was full sarcasm because they were two great catches, but they were also two great throws. But you weren't there for me in my lowest moment last year when I was sitting in the press box of Bryant-Denny Stadium watching Jarrett Garantano go rogue at the goal line at the same time Aroldis Chapman is giving up a home run to the Astros with a chance to go to the World Series. That I had to watch that within a 5-minute span.
Okay, yeah,
my
that's
Yankees
tough.
get eliminated with a chance to go to the World Series, and Jarrett Garantano going rogue at the goal line in a 5-minute span, and you weren't there for me. So why should I be there for you when your Ravens and Lamar Jackson choked the game away?
In all honesty, now that you bring that up, to distract myself from that JG Rogue moment, I believe I actually threw a little shade to you in direction of you about your Yankees. So that's a good point.
As did everybody else. So you know what, Brad? You deserve what's coming for you. And you deserve what you got over the weekend.
Comes with the territory. You on sports radio, your teams lose, it's going to happen.
Just pretend like you don't care.
Let's go back to the phones this morning, and let's get to Turkey Man. Turkey Man, good morning.
Good morning, individual.
Good morning.
Sorry, I had to leave. I got an important call I had to answer, and sorry about that.
No worries.
I was going to ask a question on which team. Wait a minute, just a minute. I hit the wrong button. Which Tigers should we pull for? I was going to ask that question. I'll take that and off that. The other thing, Brad, I said if I said something that out of line, I didn't mean to, bro. I was watching you on TV here. You're standing in the middle of these two guys, and you're looking back and forth, and you look like you had some sun in your eyes from the light. But also then I realized you had got drilled by the Titans, and you was looking both ways back and forth, and you look kind of, for a period of time, no offense, man, you're kind of standing in the middle watching a ping pong match, and you're kind of going back and forth, so it's all love and fun. I didn't mean nothing by it personally, but
no worries, Turkey Man.
Some shades on you might help you with the back and forth look of the Ray Charles or the Stevie Wonder look from looking at the screen. But I realized then that it was a lot of it had to do with light too. But anyhow, all love, man. Put some shades on it and let it ride. But anyhow, love you guys. And which Tigers should we pull for?
Yeah, Turkey Man, I don't know if I'm pulling for any Tigers, pulling for a team over another. I do think it'll be better for Tennessee. Either way, it stinks for Tennessee. But LSU winning hurts less than Clemson winning for Tennessee's recruiting. And that's crazy because I'm the same person that when Georgia and Alabama played, it was better for Alabama to win because the last thing we needed was another SEC team winning a championship other than Alabama. Well, if LSU would win, this would mean another SEC team winning besides Alabama. But we don't play LSU every single year. You play Georgia every single year. Clemson is 3 hours away from Knoxville. So when you're trying to recruit players from, West Tennessee East or Nashville East, you're actually recruiting against Clemson more than you are LSU. Now, I know we were kind of battling with Raheem Jarrett with LSU and Maryland. He wound up going to Maryland, but I think Clemson is a bigger threat in recruiting right now than LSU. But
I want LSU to win for three reasons. Well, there's only one reason I want LSU to win, and that's because LSU winning benefits Tennessee more than it benefits Clemson. The three reasons for that is, A, Clemson has been more of a thorn in the side of Tennessee than LSU has.
Mm-hmm.
B, LSU winning a national championship allows Coach O to recruit against Alabama with a national championship in his pocket, which in turn is a good thing for Tennessee. We need teams like LSU putting pressure on Alabama. And Alabama, the last 5-6 years, has gone into Louisiana and taken Louisiana's top players, your Cam Robinsons of the world. We need Coach O to win this national championship so he can keep those Louisiana players in state at LSU. And the third reason, I'm tired of hearing about Dabo Swinney and this whole narrative about Clemson is just woe is me attitude. I'm tired of it. So the third great reason would be that Dabo Swinney can shut up.
3 great reasons. I missed this, you missed it, but I'm going to add this too. Ed Orgeron winning a championship is good for Jeremy Pruitt because there's this box that the media and college football fans put coaches who are able to win championships. You got to talk a certain way. You got to do things a certain way. You got to be media savvy. Well, Coach Orgeron is not that guy. He didn't get the USC job because of how he talks. It's a perfect fit for Louisiana. You look at Pruitt, and I don't know if one time Pruitt has used correct English in a press conference, but it doesn't matter.
It's getting better.
He's from the South. He's from Alabama, but the people in Alabama don't sound any different than the people in Tennessee. We all country. And so there's this box that we put championship coaches that you got to talk this way. You got to do things this way. You got to be Nick Saban. Well, Dabo Swinney winning a championship was good for college football because outside Nick Saban and Urban Meyer, who was great as a coach? Yeah, you had Jimbo Fisher who won a championship. Matt Bryant entered college football again. He's won a championship. So you got guys who have won championships in college football, but it put so much pressure on coaches who were not Nick Saban. That's why you have so many coaching changes in the SEC since 2008, since Nick Saban has been in Alabama, because everyone wants the next Nick Saban. So much that we hired Derek Dooley from La Tech. Orgeron wins. I think it looks good for Pruitt. Yeah, man, you can be country. You can do your things your way. Just get good people around you. Be yourself. And that's all that matters. That's good for Pruitt, in my opinion.
And let those good people around you, such as Joe Brady, Steve Ensminger, David Randa, let them do their thing.
Great lesson for Pruitt. You don't have to do everything. In Pruitt's first year, he tried to do too much.
So did Orgeron.
Yep. You don't have to do everything. Hire good people and let them work.
And I think Jeremy Pruitt did that this year. That was a major issue during Jeremy Pruitt's first season. I mean, it's one of the reasons Tyson Helton's no longer here, if we're being honest. And what does Jeremy Pruitt do? Not only does he go out there and upgrade at offensive coordinator, he hires a great coach in Jim Chaney, brings in a great coach in T. Martin, defensively brings in a great coach in Derek Ansley. And so on top of him making great hires, he let them coach this year.
Here's the next move for Pruitt, though, the next level he needs to get to. For Joe Brady to sign an extension to stay at LSU, that means that the atmosphere, the culture down at LSU is pretty dang good in coaches' meeting rooms. Pretty dang good upstairs. It has to be good. If not, Joe Brady's going somewhere else. He can win a championship and go somewhere else. But he's staying. He's staying. That's something to look at, too. If you're Jeremy Pruitt, okay, how can I create a culture to where my assistant coaches are saying no to other really good opportunities? That's the next step for Pruitt. 865-200-5503. Be right back.
For what is coming up on the Swain event.
It's going to be mostly cloudy today with a high of 62 and a low of 54. Showers are likely tomorrow with a high near 67 and a low around 56. Look for more of the same on Wednesday with a high in the upper 60s. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by Be Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, Be Dry can help. BeDry.com. Be Dry is celebrating 60 years of protecting homes across the U.S. They are the basement and crawl space experts. There has been historic rainfall in East Tennessee recently. If you are experiencing wet foundation walls, puddles on your floor, or water where your floor and wall meet, then you should call Be Dry. They have over 500,000 customers nationwide. Be Dry gives free estimates for all homeowners, financing is available, and if you mention the Swain event, Be Dry will give you $500 off a full perimeter basement waterproofing solution. Wet basement? Better call Be Dry, 865-588-0454 or online at BeDry.com.
Do you want a custom themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Well, look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. Every design has you, the fan, in mind. Their tumblers and bottles are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the market. From stainless steel sippy cups to tumblers and sports bottles, Game Time Sidekicks offers something for the fan of all ages to rep their team with. They have many different logo options, so fans will have something they are proud to carry around all the time. Use promo code SWAIN at checkout to get 20% off of your entire purchase at GameTimeSidekicks.com. They also offer $5 flat rate shipping. Be sure to check out the Game Time Workshop on the website and customize your tumbler to make it one of a kind with things like your nickname, number, or initials. Game Time Sidekicks. Show your colors and carry your team.
Due to a special purchase, Beatty Chevrolet has over 100 pre-owned crossovers and SUVs at tremendous savings during the $1 Million Markdown event. 100 crossovers and SUVs from Chevrolet, Ford, Nissan, Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, Mazda, and more. All makes and models starting at $89.95. And we'll buy your vehicle on the spot. Plus, get the Beatty warranty for life during the $1 Million Markdown. Only at Beatty Chevrolet in Knoxville or shop BeattyChevrolet.com. Sale prices plus tax, title, and license.
Hey, Mr. Mac, you heard the lowdown? Nah, homie. Give me the word on what's going on. Tell him what it is, Big Will.
Mac, now the lowdown is no money down, only at the new Open Franklin Motors in Alcoa. No money down at the new Open Franklin Motors in Alcoa. Not $1,000 down, not $100 down, not even a nickel down. Low down, no down, only at the new Open Franklin Motors in Alcoa. 2 minutes from the airport, so fly on down to the new Open Franklin Motors next to Walmart, home of the original low down, no down payment. That is, why would you buy from anywhere else when you know we gonna get you done? Good credit, bad credit, slow credit, we will get you approved. So come on down to 911 Louisville Road, the new Open Franklin Motors next to Walmart, or call 865-980-8216. Turn down for what?
There are articles and news stories that you read about the things that people do. And when you're reading those and you start to shake your head, you start to scratch your head a little bit, you get confused. You don't understand why. You start to ask questions. But really, there's only one question that matters. What is that question, you may ask?
For what?
Hour 2 brought to you by Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com. I understand being aggressive when you're playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, and offensively they are so dynamic. But it's 24-7. You are up. 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. 4th down and 4. At your own 31-yard line. The Texans go for a fake punt. They don't get it, and the Kansas City Chiefs get the ball at the 31-yard line. They go and they score a touchdown. That makes it 24-14. And then when they kick off after scoring, the Texans fumble on the return. Kansas City get the ball back again and score 3 touchdowns in like 30 seconds. I've got to give the special teams coach and Bill O'Brien a for what for the fake punt decision on 4th and 4 on your own 31-yard line, up 24-7. 8 minutes, 32 seconds to go in the second quarter. That's my for what for today.
Deserved.
Brad.
Deserved. If I have a for what, I would give a for what to the officiating crew for the Seattle Seahawks Green Bay Packers game. We always talk about differences in a game. Well, it always doesn't come down to one call, but I think there were several calls that we could go back and look at in this Seahawks-Packers game that had an impact on the football game. You know, the one that we alluded to earlier, the Jimmy Graham catch, he did not reach the first down marker. You review it and you still can't get it right. We got to be better officiating at all levels. For what?
That's your only for what? After all those attaboys you gave to the Baltimore Ravens all season long, you don't have it for what today?
No, it was a great season.
No. If you don't want to give the Ravens for what, sure, I get it. They were the best team in football this year until the playoffs.
And nobody expected us to be there. We peaked a year early.
Talk about Earl Thomas and give him a for what now?
Oh, he deserves it.
Okay.
I was going to let you do it, but, I mean, Earl Thomas talked a bunch of smack, ran nothing but his mouth, and got spun around numerous times.
Yes.
Arm tackles broken numerous times.
I will say the one where Derrick Henry just made him look terrible when he spun him around.
That happened to a lot of guys.
A lot of people were making fun of Earl Thomas for quote-unquote making a business decision. I didn't think that Earl Thomas made a business decision there. I thought that Earl Thomas was legitimately trying to tackle him, but Derrick Henry is such a freak, it made him look like he was making a business decision. And then people were like making fun of Earl Thomas. Oh, he turned around and shied away from trying to tackle Derrick Henry. He turned around because Derrick Henry turned him around. It wasn't him making a business decision. That was Derrick Henry being Derrick Henry.
Yeah, being that dude.
Yes.
And also, did you hear Derrick Henry at the end of the game during post-game press conference?
I
or our post-game interview on the field?
I heard him drop this.
Hey, goodish, Earl.
I heard that. Also, I did not like Tajay Sharp making fun of Mark Ingram.
Thank you.
Mark Ingram did not run his mouth once. If you want to make fun of Earl Thomas, go for it.
Who are you,
Earl
Tajay?
Thomas deserves to do that. But what did Mark Ingram do to the Titans?
He did nothing. All he did was support his guy, and that's what happened. Hour 3 coming up.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
While the players are gearing up for the gridiron, it's time for you to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Peter Millar, and all of those retro logos you love. And the 2 for $28 t-shirt deal? Game changer. And don't forget about the rest of your game day crew. There are plenty of options for the entire family and to upgrade that tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com. It's football time in Tennessee.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
In debt? In too deep? Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union says, stop treading water and get out of the deep end. If you've got debt, make a splash and come get some cash. If Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union can refinance your car, boat, camper, motorcycle, credit cards, personal or home loan, they'll pay you up to $500. So come take the plunge right now. Refinance your loans. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union will pay you. 5 convenient locations. Visit atfcu.com. Equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com.
$865-250-503 B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Evan, Ben continuing to bandwagon the Titans is peak Ben. Oh, man.
I'm not a Titans fan. I'm rooting for the Titans. In my mind, there is a distinct difference. And when your boy is playing for a chance to go to the Super Bowl, you can bandwagon any team you want to.
That's true,
That's the reason you got the beanie, right? Tell me.
I've had this beanie for years. I've always rooted for the Titans, except for when they're not playing the Steelers.
Yeah.
I really have. I've always wanted the Titans to do. Swain pretty much summed it up earlier in the show when Swain talked about how the Titans, haven't been in Nashville for 50 years. So a lot of NFL fans, at least in the state of Tennessee, yes, the Titans fan base is growing, but a lot of people in the state of Tennessee already had favorite teams before the Titans moved to Nashville. And granted, the Titans moved to Nashville kind of around when I was born, but I lived in New York and northern part of the United States when I was growing up because my dad was in the Army. And I saw Jerome Bettis and the Steelers on TV all day. I didn't live in Tennessee at the time. I liked the Steelers.
Was it 98, 99 when they moved to Nashville?
Somewhere around there.
I believe that was it.
Late 90s. But I've always rooted for the Titans because they're the in-state team. I'm a Tennessee guy. That's why I root for the Grizzlies. It's why I root for the Preds. It's why I'm a University of Tennessee fan. They're the in-state team, so that's why I root for them. And if Nashville ever gets a baseball team, I'm still going to be a diehard Yankees fan. And when they're not playing whatever teams for Nashville, I hope the team for Nashville does well. So,
no, I hear you.
People can make fun of me if they want. I don't. Don't bother me.
I somewhat follow the Titans outside of the Ravens. I just don't have gear.
Yeah.
But I was thinking you got that when Corey got signed by them, so
no, I've had this for years actually.
Okay.
That shirt I wore on Friday, had it for years.
Okay.
When they sucked, when they had Ryan Fitzmagic playing quarterback for them, when they had Jake Locker.
Yeah, that was the one frustrating thing with some of the shade on Twitter. Folks thinking that I just jumped on the bandwagon that I haven't been a Ravens fan since the mid-'90s.
Yeah, it's annoying. I get that with the Yankees, and it drives me crazy because I literally watch every single Yankees game.
Yes, you do.
You can bet at some point
your
I'm watching the Yankees
fandom
game.
is where my Braves fandom is, and that's rare.
But because I'm a Yankees fan, the stigma about Yankees fans is that they're just jumping on the bandwagon.
No, I know.
D. Cody says, I'm doing the same. I've been a Redskins fan since I was a kid, but I always pull for the home team. Same for baseball. Evan says, did y'all see those Clemson players say they could have been legends at UT? Yeah, I saw it. I've moved on. Amari is a junior. T. Higgins is a junior. I've moved on. I mean, we've been kind of talking about those guys for 3 years, wanting to play at Tennessee at some point during their middle school and high school careers, and it just didn't work out. But I've heard it. I also saw Jaden Springer over the weekend. 5-star combo guard signed with Tennessee for IMG Academy. I saw him over the weekend. And boy, oh boy.
That's a 5-star.
You're talking about confidence. You're talking about, and I don't know if he had this part of his game last year, where the whole team runs through him, the way he controls the game from the point guard position, his ability to get to the basket in one-on-one situations, his ability to finish, elevate. He can shoot the basketball, and Rick Barnes is going to make his shot even better because that's what Rick Barnes does.
Mm-hmm.
He can take someone who can't shoot and make them an efficient jump shooter just in one summer. We've seen that with Pons. We've seen that with Kevin Punter.
Yeah, Punter's a great
We've
example.
seen that with Admiral Schofield. We've seen that with Grant Williams. You're going to be able to shoot with Rick Barnes. So you take Jaden Springer, who already has a nice jump shot, it's going to be even better. This is what I see in Jaden Springer. He reminds me like of a young, just so far. And again, I hate doing comparison because some folks, their brains, they can't process this. It's like when you compare Eric Gray to Alvin Kamara. You're looking at Alvin Kamara today as a Pro Bowler versus Eric Gray as a freshman, and no, it's no comparison. But when you compare Alvin Kamara as a freshman in college or sophomore in college, you can see some of the similarities. But Jaden Springer's ability to get to the basket, elevate, shoot the jumper, reminds me a little bit of Jay Williams at Duke. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, man. Dude.
You would know better than me. That's a little before my
the way he can just controls the game. Like we see point guards that, they play the position, they do their job. We've also seen point guards, they control the game. You can't speed them up. Mm-hmm. You can't speed them up. They go at their pace when they want to. That's Jaden Springer, man.
It is. I have so many thoughts on Tennessee basketball's future roster. I mean, we could do a whole 3-hour show on the future of Tennessee basketball. I mean, it is so exciting because I think in 2 years, not next season, but the season after that, if the roster sticks together and Tennessee gets lucky and everybody comes back, Tennessee is a legitimate national title contender in 2 years when you kind of lay out the roster. But even next year, we were asked at RTI in this week or last week's mailbag about who we think the starting five will be next year. And it's absurd to think about because who is the starting five going to be? Because there are so many options. Because if Springer comes in and starts, is Josiah on the bench? Is Vescovi on the bench? Is Victor Bailey Jr.?
Bailey's going to push Vescovi.
Exactly. Is he on the bench? Is Keon Johnson, who has the potential to be all world level good on defense, already projected a top 15 pick in his NBA draft after his freshman season? Is he going to be on the bench? Is Eve Pons going to be on the bench as a senior? John Fulkerson going to be on the bench as a senior? We know Uros is going to start if he ever becomes eligible. So I think you have Uros and Folke starting the 4-5. Does Pond start at 3? Does senior Jalen Johnson start at the 3? Does Corey Walker, the other big-time freshman coming in, does he push for playing time?
Why did you even waste words?
I don't know.
With that one. Why did you even waste energy talking about Jalen Johnson?
I'm trying to be nice. But, I mean, seriously, you have 6 legitimate starting options at the guard positions in Vescovi, Springer, Keon Johnson, Victor Bailey Jr., and Josiah Jordan-James. That is absurd talent. And if they come back in 2 years with Uros being a senior, I mean, my word, the things that team could do. And then on top of that, Barnes is going to have another top 10, 15-ish class. So it's exciting to watch. I will say this. Jaden Springer will be in Knoxville in 2 weeks playing at Knoxville Catholic. And that will be a fun game because Knoxville Catholic has a 2022 kid. I think he's a sophomore now. Do you know who I'm talking about, Brad? B.J. Edwards, I think is his name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking. B.J. Edwards, 4-star point guard, Knoxville Catholic. I mean, he's already a top 50 player in the country. 2022. So I think that's sophomore year.
That might be a game.
That matchup?
Yeah.
Springer versus him?
And that's
a matchup.
And Springer's going to try to show out.
Exactly.
He's going to try to put on a show.
And looking at the competition that IMG's playing, I mean, Jaden Springer's going up against some of the top talent in the country, especially in this part of the country. And the ability, when you watch these highlights, for him to create that separation and get the jump shot off, man, that's exciting to watch.
His handles, the way he handles the ball right in front of someone, crossing them over behind the back, it reminds me so much of Jay Williams. So much of it. I wonder if we can go pull highlight film of Jay Williams in high school.
probably as hard to pull up Jay Williams' highlight tape as it is pulling up your high school tape.
My high school tape is on it's on there. It's on Rivals still.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I've never watched it.
Last time I checked, it was, but Jay Williams older than me though.
He was at Duke, what, 02-ish era?
01, yeah, 01. They won championship in 01, if I'm not mistaken. So, I was still in high school, but Jay Williams comes to mind when I was watching Jaden Springer, like his handle, how explosive he is around the basket, how he can get his shot anytime he wants to, but he just chooses not to because he wants to get his teammates involved. Remind me so much of him. Who's next?
Volstorm.
Volstorm, good morning.
Swain's highlight reel is still on reel to reel.
Ain't that old, man.
Okay, Betamax.
You older than me, though.
What's your point? That ain't got nothing to do with you.
You trying to say I'm old, but you older than me. That's my point.
Hey, old recognize old, son.
Oh, yeah, good save. Good save. Good save.
You ain't got to sit there and lie. We all know you root for Clemson and your boy Amari.
Oh, I'm rooting for Amari and T. Higgins. I only know Amari. Haven't met T. Higgins, but I mean he's a Knoxville kid, so I'm gonna root for him. But I'm not gonna root for a team. I'm gonna root for the players, though. I think Amari's gonna have a good game because I don't know who's gonna guard him in the slot. I think it's gonna be a severe matchup problem for LSU. I can see Stingley and those guys on the outside matching up with Clemson wide receivers. I don't see how LSU is going to guard Amari in the slot.
I was reading an article on The Athletic that Bruce Feldman put together, and he talked to a bunch of SEC offensive coaches that LSU faced this year, and they think the consensus was that they think that Clemson's receivers can get the better of LSU's defensive secondary because they think that Justin Ross and T. Higgins can beat Stingley at the line of scrimmage. They thought that when opposing receivers got in their face and went hand-to-hand combat with them, that they didn't shy away from it, but that was when they maybe struggled a little bit. And they think that Justin Ross and T. Higgins can take advantage of that.
So what they're saying is that Clemson has faster receivers, but when it comes down to, basically face-to-face contact, then LSU's going to win that.
I don't think anybody's outrunning Stingley, but he is a freshman. So if you're going to get up and try to press some of these bigger, experienced Clemson wide receivers, you better be ready for that hand-to-hand combat, or else they will get by and you're playing catch-up.
Ain't no normal freshman, that's for sure.
That's true.
Nope. Yeah, it will be interesting to see how LSU game plans for ETN, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's a problem because he can beat you in between the tackles. He's a valuable receiver out of the backfield. And in space, he will run away from you. He is very, very fast, explosive. I think if you're LSU, he's your biggest problem outside of Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, because it's one thing if you're having to worry about the receivers as weapons, but when you're having to worry about a running back, that's a completely different story because you don't know if he's going to be running it. You don't know if he's going to, take a short little hop from the backfield and then go or what.
Yeah, he's a matchup problem for those LSU linebackers. Simple as that.
What if any weaknesses does Trevor Lawrence have?
He tries to fit ball sometime in places, but he hasn't done that in a couple weeks. That was only the beginning of the season for Clemson. He's been really efficient with the football as of late. So right now, I don't really see any weaknesses right now. Early in the season, yeah, but not right now.
Guys, it was funny. I'm sure a lot of y'all saw the article that came out about all the players that said that they would have played for Tennessee, and people getting all up in arms about it. People, I wouldn't want to play for Butch Jones either.
Nope. And I'm
let it go.
I've let it go, man. I've moved.
Oh,
I've
I know
moved
you
on.
have.
Yeah, I've moved on, man. I mean, we've heard it for 3 years. I mean, for 3 years we've heard it. So I'm good, man. I'm just waiting on us to build our trio of wideouts and our quarterback of the future or whatever, and build us a program like Clemson. So that's kind of where my focus is. Don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm definitely done thinking about T. Higgins and Amari Rodgers and Trevor Lawrence, what could have happened and what could have been.
Surprisingly enough, I have to agree with Ben as far as which outcome favors Tennessee more.
Mm-hmm.
Because with the proximity of Clemson, the way Clemson was able to come into our own backyard and pull players out. I mean, granted, part of that was Butch, but I just think as far as recruiting goes, it's probably better not to have to go head-to-head with Clemson if they win a national championship versus LSU.
Yep, I'm with you, man. I think it's better for LSU to win over Clemson. They've been a bigger pain in the butt.
Can you say that first part again, Volstorm? The part where you said that you agreed with me? I got to make sure I recorded that.
I did agree with you.
I know,
I'll give you credit where credit's due.
I need you to say that again so I can cut it out and use it as a spot going forward.
Told you all I'm going to tell you, son. That's it.
Well played.
That's all you gonna get. That's it.
By the way, what time the Steelers playing this weekend?
The same time the Ravens do, baby.
Guys, before I go, I really appreciate Brad Matthews taking everything like a champ. He showed up on Twitter, and he's shown up here today on the show. Unlike Lamar Jackson. See you, boys! Go Tiger!
Oh, man.
See you, Volstorm.
Oh, man.
Yes.
He showed up, just wasn't at his best.
He was not his best. His defense didn't show up.
Yeah. Marlon Humphrey's still getting turned around.
Everybody was making fun of the Ravens for how many times did he throw the ball? 51, 59?
59.
59 times, and it was like blaming Lamar Jackson for that. And I'm thinking he had to throw the ball 59 times because they were playing from so far behind.
But we didn't have to start in the second quarter. We started that in the second quarter. It was just too early. We looked. The coaching staff told the team by the way they were calling plays, we're nervous. We're behind. This is about to get away from us. In the second quarter, it was frustrating.
And I thought a huge difference in the Ravens not being able to come back was the Titans holding the Ravens to a field goal right there before halftime, because the Ravens had gone from, the 5-yard line on the opposite side of the field. Lamar made 3 really pretty throws.
On third down.
Like 3rd and 17 on one, 3rd and 16 on another, and they drove right down the field. I thought they were going to score a touchdown, but I thought the Titans holding them to a field goal there kind of cut the comeback right then and there. To give a little more context on what I was saying about LSU's receivers, or DBs going up against Clemson's receivers, this is what Bruce Feldman wrote when he talked to an SEC defensive backs coach. Said that Derek Stingley is going to be a great corner, but I think any wide receiver that is not afraid to use their hands can get him. Justin Ross will go at him, I think. He likes to press and bail. He's a patient corner. He tries to be perfect. He has really good ball skills, and he can run. Fulton, who is on the other side, is just average. He is overly aggressive. I think T. Higgins can get him. You can get him with double moves. You can hit him on slant and goes. Delpit is a great player if you just let him play center field. He struggles in coverage and is horrible in open field tackling. I also thought it was interesting that in the same article, multiple SEC coaches mentioned that they thought that LSU is playing Nashville native Jacoby Phillips out of place, that he's too stiff, can't move for the position that they have them playing in the secondary.
Jacoby Stevens.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I told Lamar this. I said, man, if Stevens guarding you Monday, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
That's a great point, though, with Fulton and Stingley. They are very aggressive. Some of these double moves the wide receivers for Clemson can put on them, will they bite? And will they bite early? If they do bite early, is that sticking in the back of their head throughout the rest of the game? Be something to watch.
And Ross and T, they're good at the line of scrimmage. So
it's gonna be a fun game, that's for sure. It's gonna be the game that I guess today's football fans like, and that's a lot of offense and explosive passing. You're gonna see that tonight for sure.
Which means we'll get 13-10.
Probably. Yeah. We'll probably get that. All right, let's go back to the phones.
We got Neil and Mafia.
Neil and Mafia, good morning.
Brad, where you at, son?
Right here, feller.
Brad!
What up?
You Baltimore, man. You ever hear of a guy called Edgar Allan Poe?
Yeah, wrote The Raven.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over a mysterious volume of NFL playoff lore, Derrick Henry came a-ramming, slamming, running gore, running at the Ravens' door, only that, and a jump pass more. And on that night's dark Chesapeake shore, of the teams now left, there are 4, but of the Ravens, nevermore.
That was well done. Well
Man,
said.
I love you, Brad. I had to work something up for you.
I appreciate it.
I felt I owed it.
I appreciate
I think
it.
highly of you, to let you off the hook. I would have let Ben off the hook because his team's flaw as Pittsburgh, but I kind of respect your stuff.
Thank you, Neil Mafia.
You're welcome, sir.
Oh, man, we love you, Neil and Mafia. Good stuff.
Good luck. Love y'all guys. Have a good day.
See you, man.
If only Neil and Mafia's calls were as good as Volstorm's.
He says after the dump button.
After you got rid of him?
Bye.
Well, he said bye.
Man.
I waited. I waited till he said bye.
You're already scheming over there.
I told you. I don't care if people are making fun of the Steelers for not making the playoffs. The Steelers never should have been in a place to even have a potential to make the playoffs. I don't care that the Ravens made the playoffs and the Steelers didn't. All I care about is the Ravens losing and the fact that the Ravens and the Steelers, at the end of the day, have the same amount of playoff wins.
Yesterday I was obviously actively rooting for the Seahawks because of the Packers being in my division, the Chicago Bears, and I was happy that the Vikings lost. So yesterday is tough for me. Now I understand exactly where Ben's coming from because the Ravens and the Steelers, they're division rivals.
Oh yeah, the backyard brawl.
So of course he wants the Ravens to lose.
I am the one that said about a month and a half ago, that I would not cheer for Juwan Jennings if he became a Baltimore Raven.
I respect that.
I hope that he would do well individually.
And if Juwan Jennings was a Steeler, his jersey would be in my man cave, hopefully signed. If you could help me work with that.
Nah, hey, you got a better chance of getting it signed than me.
Yeah,
I'm not BFS with some of these players, man. I try to draw that line, man. I'll help, if I can, as far as advice, things like that. But
Juwan, if you're listening, let's make it happen, man.
Yeah.
I saw a mock draft the other day. I think it was Matt Miller of Bleacher Report. Had Juwan going to the Ravens in the 3rd round of the NFL draft, and I just wanted to just break everything.
Oh my gosh, I want to scream.
And then apparently,
please make it happen.
Juwan, I think he's playing on the South team there at the Senior Bowl, which the Cincinnati Bengals are coaching, which
they might like him too.
Exactly. The Bengals are going to get a week-long look at him, and then they're going to fall in love with him. They're going to draft him. But it is the Bengals, so they'll probably find a way to ruin Juwan Jennings.
That's probably true, man. That's probably true. There's Steelers, Ravens, Seahawks, Raiders,
Titans.
I don't see them fitting in with the Titans.
Just a tough nose.
I could see him with the Saints.
Yeah, I can see
slot with the Saints.
I can see him with the Saints. I can see that. I just don't see him with the Titans.
I don't know. I guess I just see the Saints as a finesse offense, and I don't look at Juwan Jennings as a finesse type player. I look at him as a hard nosed football player. Obviously,
well, that's what Michael Thomas is. Michael Thomas is not a speed guy. I mean, Marcus Colston wasn't a speed guy. Now they've always had the speed guy, Devin Henderson. Now they have Ted Ginn. I mean, they've always had that speed guy, but they do really well with that possession receiver, Willie Snead, before he went to the Ravens. I mean, I can see him with the Saints. I can see him with the Saints, but definitely Steelers, Ravens. I can see him with the Raiders because John Gruden would love Juwan Jennings.
Just don't go to the Ravens or the Bengals. Had that mock draft had Darrell Taylor and Juwan Jennings going in the third round. Can't remember what team Darrell Taylor was being drafted by in that mock draft.
Swain Event. Be right back.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Join the Swain Event at Dead End Barbecue on Wednesday, February 5th to celebrate the Vault's victories on the recruiting trail. Enjoy a special barbecue breakfast and listen to Jason Swain and the guys break down each signee during this special edition of the Swain Event live from Dead End Barbecue. Former players will be on hand as well as great guests. What better way to celebrate the 2020 signing class than enjoying some delicious barbecue and hanging out with the Swain Event? Spend National Signing Day with the Swain Event and Dead End Barbecue.
Do you want a custom themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Then look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. All of their bottles and tumblers are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the tumbler market. New this year are their stemless 12-ounce tumblers, perfect for repping your team while enjoying your favorite wine. They also have new 3-in-1 jackets to use as a koozie for a can or bottle, or you can pop a lid on it and use it as a 12-ounce tumbler or coffee cup. Be sure to check out everything Game Time Sidekicks has to offer at GameTimeSidekicks.com. Game Time Sidekicks, helping fans show your colors and carry your team with unique gear you will actually use.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Let's go back to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Let's bring in Dave Toner. Dave Toner, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for asking.
Brad,
Sir,
gotta commend you, man. You're taking it like a trooper.
appreciate that.
I'm not even gonna bust on you.
And it comes with the territory doing sports radio.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a pass. I'll give you a pass. You're handling it like a trooper. Ben,
Yes, sir.
I'm a little slack, brother.
Hey, Dave Toner, we can barely hear you there.
Oh, y'all can barely hear me?
Yeah.
How's that?
A little bit better. What'd you say?
All right. Anyways, Ben, cut him a little slack. He's taking it like a trooper.
Like I told Brad when he was leaving the studio on Friday, it's nothing against you, Bradley. I just hate the Baltimore Ravens.
You gonna learn I'm right there with you, brother. I'm right there with you. Right there with you. Hey, guys, have a good week.
Thank.
Hope the weather and all is like Swaino. We need to somehow communicate so we can get together over Valentine's weekend.
We'll do it, man. We'll do it.
Right.
I'm gonna bring Pap a box of chocolates after that comment.
Dave Tona is so nice when he wants to be.
He's a nice guy, man. He's a nice guy. Now, for our next caller, I don't know, man. We especially Mississippi State week.
Batting down the hatches.
Woo! Mississippi State week. I can't sit here and say that Butt Nasty was the nicest gentleman. Butt Nasty, good morning.
Good morning, Vol fans, Vol Nation. Go SEC, go SEC Nation. And as always, rise above hate before it rises above you.
Hey, man, that dude got some issues, man.
Listen, I have intel. I have boots on the ground in Middle Tennessee that is going to absolutely obliterate Florida recruiting. And those boots are Neyland Mafia. He helps us bandwagon fans out that don't really keep up with the Titans all year, but when we get hot on the heater, we come in there on the end. So, anyways, my intel tells me Derrick Henry ran all the way down to Florida, and he impregnated Dan Mullen's wife.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
This is not a joke. I don't know why y'all are laughing. Do you know how much cocaine I have to do to get this kind of intel? I have to stay up 3 or 4 days at a time.
Golly. Oh, my goodness.
I'm fighting for my life here, and y'all are laughing.
I'm sorry, Butt Nasty. I'm sorry, man. Maybe we should take you more serious.
I have Austin Price shaking in his boots right now for the stuff that I know going on down in Florida and in the Mid-10 state.
Is this on video? Did you record a video saying all these things?
No, not yet. I'll post it to my podcast later on this evening. I haven't had time. I'm a little jittery. I got the sugar boogers rocking up top, and I just don't know exactly what I'm doing exactly. I just know I'm on the phone.
Golly, man. That Georgia, I don't even know if he's a Georgia fan. I think he's just pretending.
Yes, intel.
There's no way he's a real Georgia fan. There's no way.
Boys, I just wanted to call in and give y'all a mess this morning, and I didn't want to call in and rip on B-Rad too hard, and so that's why I made the Florida comment. I'll hang up and listen what important y'all got to say.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Buck. Much love.
Boy. Oh, man.
Easy on the booger sugar.
Oh, man. That guy is something else.
National treasure.
For those that don't do Twitter, don't know what we're talking about, there's a self-proclaimed Georgia fan that lives in Portland, Oregon, who has been shooting videos. And his latest one, he's breaking down the reason why the real reason why K. Mays is coming to Tennessee. Because his brother's on the team and he's from here? I mean, I don't know what Tennessee really did to get him. The brothers talk like they've done for the last 18, 19 years, probably. Like, my goodness, man. Oh, boy. College football, man. Brings out the best, brings out the worst. Brings out the best, brings out the worst. 865-250-503, Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Dave from 423 says, Jawan, hell of a slot receiver for the Falcons. Come on, man. You know the Falcons ain't going to do that. Falcons don't like Tennessee players. They don't draft Tennessee players. They don't do that. South Kakalaki Vol says, y'all just stop getting your hopes up. JJ is coming to Carolina to be a Panther. DR Vol says, Ben won't be cheering for Jennings on the Ravens, but cheer for his friend at Vandy. And in Ray UGA voice, take his VFL card. Hour 3, powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
For a limited time only, Hiller is offering 0% interest financing for up to 48 months on qualifying high-efficiency HVAC systems. With no down payment required, expert installations, and convenient monthly payments, now is the perfect time to schedule. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the happy face truck today.
Fellas, I have a very important question to start the new year. Have you noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive? It could be from low T, or it could be from something else, like sleep apnea, or even low thyroid. Start your new year healthier with a quick and easy health assessment at Low T Center. They treat more than just low T, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, and more. It's covered by most health insurance. If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have weight gain, or loss of muscle, call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hey, Mr. Mack, you heard the lowdown? Nah, homie, give me the word on what's going on. Tell me what it is, Big Will.
Mac, now the lowdown is no money down, only at the new Open Franklin Motors in Alcoa. No money down at the new Open Franklin Motors in Alcoa. Not $1,000 down, not $100 down, not even a nickel down. Low down, no down, only at the new Open Franklin Motors in Alcoa. 2 minutes from the airport, so fly on down to the new Open Franklin Motors next to Walmart, home of the original low down, no down payment. That is, why would you buy from anywhere else when you know we gonna get you done? Good credit, bad credit, slow credit, we will get you approved. So come on down to 911 Louisville Road, the new Open Franklin Motors next to Walmart, or call 865-980-8216. Turn down for what?
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
Tennessee Titans, 1 game away from the Super Bowl without Steve McNair.
R.I.P.
If the Titans make the Super Bowl, this has to be one of the greatest playoff appearances in NFL history. I mean, obviously, I don't. That take a lot of research to really.
It's a great run.
But, I mean, they ended the Patriots, and yes, the Patriots are not the same Patriots we are used to, but the Titans went to Foxborough and beat the greatest quarterback of all time and the greatest coach of all time. And the Patriots' defense was still good this year. And then the following week, they go to Baltimore on the road and beat what was the best team in football this year. And not only beat them down.
Yeah.
And now
beat them down.
Wasn't
even a game, Brad.
No.
It wasn't.
It was bad, Brad.
Sitting there in the third quarter like, are we going to make this somewhat close?
When was the moment that you realized that they were losing?
The jump pass.
Which one? I'm failing to remember the jump
Derrick
pass.
Henry's.
Oh,
Derrick Henry's jump pass in the end zone.
I was thinking of a jump ball.
No.
I got you. Jump pass. I was like, oh, they're doing this thing. They're going to wax us.
That was a beautiful throw.
It's perfect.
And the only place it could have been.
It's perfect.
I'm still, I mean, know where I'm coming from here. Titans dominated the game. Ravens weren't going to win, even if this decision did go the other way. But that first touchdown, coming off a ball that should have been caught by Mark Andrews, the interception they marked down, and then the bobbled heck of a catch by Jonnu Smith. He caught that ball. And they did, call it a touchdown on the field. If it's called incomplete on the field, I'm not sure if
They confirmed it.
I'm just saying if it's called differently, I'm not sure if they switch the call or do they confirm the incompletion. It was just one of those.
You didn't think it was did you think it was a catch?
I know he caught that ball, but I don't know if he caught it in bounds with 2 feet in.
I saw a good comment on Twitter that it was like one of those 70-30 catches, 65-35 catches, to where he caught the ball, but by the rule, did he catch the ball?
Exactly.
Yeah, a part of his body landed inbound.
Right.
So
butt cheek.
One butt cheek equals 2 feet. Basically.
So with that start, I was like, okay, some breaks going against us here. Stay in the game, don't press. And then we come out, we're going for it on 4th and 1, down 7 in our own territory. Our defense had been playing decent, but where they were getting put in terrible situations. They played that first half pretty much all but about 6 minutes of it. And so after the jump pass, with all of those things that were taking place in the first half, offense not getting able to click, hitting on some third down and longs, but nothing consistent marching down the field other than that one drive that Ben mentioned before the halftime break where they started at the 5 and then still held to a field goal. After the jump pass, I was like, yeah, this is done.
It's over.
Yeah. All I know is Derrick Henry would not have been able to get that pass off if it weren't for the Titans fullback.
Now, Corey had a great game.
Corey or Corey?
Corey, sorry.
I know, I'm just messing with you. No, but
Blazing game.
My point, you beat the Patriots in Foxborough. You beat the best team in football this season in Baltimore. And now you're going to have to go to Kansas City and have to arguably beat the arguably best quarterback in the league right now. In my opinion, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league right now.
Titans were the 6th seed. They barely got in into the playoffs, and for them to go on the road, beat the Patriots, go on the road, beat the Ravens, and then they would have to do it again to get to the Super Bowl. If they win the entire deal, it would remind me of when the Giants had their run.
That's what I was thinking.
When the Giants went on the road, they beat the Packers. Brett Favre threw a pick at the end of that game, and the Giants advanced, won the whole deal when they were underdog against the Patriots.
Is that 2007?
The Titans they got 2 more wins to equal that playoff run, but I think they can certainly do it the way they're running the football, Tannehill protecting the football, and hey man, you wasn't really confident in Tannehill's ability based on what he did in New England, but he came out, played a really good game, man. Took care of the football, made some great throws. Man,
managed the game beautifully.
Defense,
that's all he has
creates
to do.
turnovers. I mean, the Titans can win. They can.
Yeah.
I think this game, Derrick Henry, and I don't know if it's possible to do more, but I think he's going to have to do more. I really do, because not only does he need to rush the football effectively, but he's even more important because you have to maintain possession to keep the ball away from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Like, they got to lean on him even more in this game. And that's just crazy to think
and they
about
can't
because
get comfortable.
Yeah, but it's exactly. It's crazy to think about because he's had games where he's had 30-plus carries already.
I also, as hard as it will be to do, like you mentioned Derrick Henry needing to do more, I agree with you. I also think Ryan Tannehill is going to have to do more too, just because I do think it's going to be almost a shootout-style game in how much can a rushing offense produce a shootout-type score. So Tannehill did a great job of managing the game, like you mentioned, Brad, like Teron Davenport mentioned on Friday when we had him on to talk about the game. I think he's going to have to be a little more than just a game manager against the Chiefs, just because, yeah, the Titans' defense is playing good, but the Chiefs are going to put up some points.
But he can't go in there feeling that he has to match Patrick Mahomes.
Yes. Right.
He'll have to do a little bit more, but still manage the game and rely on what got you there, the running game. Because if you don't bleed this clock, if you don't make it a quicker game, they will eventually outscore you, speaking of the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. And we talk about the Titans beating the Patriots, the Ravens, and the Chiefs if they were to make this improbable playoff run. On top of beating the Patriots, the Ravens, the Chiefs, they would then probably have to beat the 49ers, which the 49ers, you could make the case, was the best team in football this year, and that defense is crazy good. And even if it's not the 49ers, you got to beat Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So I think if the Titans win the Super Bowl, it would be hard to find a more impressive playoff run when you look at the teams that they beat and how they beat them. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a better playoff run.
I think if they beat the Chiefs, they win it all. I'll say that right now comfortably.
I do too.
I think that's the most difficult matchup on paper for them. Teams that rely on their defense, the Patriots, the Ravens, the San Francisco 49ers. Derrick Henry and company running right through them right now. Can they win in a shootout? I don't know. I'm not convinced that they can.
Happy for the Titans, though. I know somebody who is happy. That is Vol Nation. Vol Nation, good morning.
Hey. Before I get started, I want to let y'all know, introduce the man of the hour, the Russian King, best running back in the league, King Henry, Whoop, whoop. Big trust. How y'all feeling, man?
Man, we good, man. How are you?
Pipe down, Tajay.
Hey, so man, I'm telling you, it's good to be a Titans fan. Watching these boys go out there and compete every week, and we've been watching football a long time, and I was always told that defense wins championships. I was told if you need to be able to run the football effectively and control the clock in the playoffs, and you need to have quality quarterback play where he can manage things, put points on the boards, be advantageous on the field. And I'm seeing all these things when the Titans play. Takeaways with interceptions, putting points on the board, stretching the field, and controlling the clock. Quarterback's not, doing anything risque, and they're able to, regardless of whether you're in a bare front, you can have cover Z, it don't really matter. They just line up and say, we go in this direction, and Travis Henry gets them 9 yards.
Yep.
And, what I'm watching is I keep hearing week in and week out, okay, there's no way they're going to go to Foxborough and beat Brady. They just don't have enough offense, and they have all these things about the Titans about what they. Then they go and do the impossible and they win, and then for the next week everybody talks about the teams that they lost, that they beat. Then they say, oh, we're going to go up here. There's no way they can beat Baltimore. No one has been able to stop that offense, and no one can stop Lamar Jackson. He's just unreal, and they go and beat the brakes off of him.
Beat the brakes off of them, Brad.
And they punish them because we hear about these great defenses in New England. There's great defense. The defenses seem to get greater week in and week out. The teams just seem to be better week in and week out. And they just kind of, as an afterthought, say, well, the Titans and Travis Henry. Then they go and win, and pretty soon there won't be any teams left. So they're going to have to talk about the Titans. And so. You're looking at Kansas City coming in, great offense, very explosive offense. You got a great quarterback, great defense, again, for the third week in a row, on the road. And the thing is somebody's got to eventually sit there and say, can anybody stop Derrick Henry?
Nope.
Because we can talk about great defenses, we can talk about their explosive offense and all that, but you can't do much when you don't have the football. And you got to outscore Tennessee if you can't stop Derrick Henry. If you can't stop him lining in a cover zero, and then eventually you got to deal with the wide receivers. You got a quarterback that's not throwing interceptions, and you got a defense that's playing lights out. Every week they're playing against a great offense. Every week they're shutting the great offense down. This is just the next one.
I don't know if the Patriots' offense was great. There was problems with that offense all season long. Not enough weapons. The Chiefs, right. It's a different type of challenge, but the Titans have stepped up to the plate. Each and every time they've had a team that was picked to beat them or they were the underdogs in. I think the Chiefs just bring a different type of challenge for them. But, hey, they beat them once this year.
They have. Like I said, it's not going to be an easy game. I mean, everybody's different in the playoffs. Everybody's usually better at this time of the season, and they're playing really good football. They went out there and beat down the Texans, which you pretty much thought that was going to take place. Mm-hmm. But, the thing about it is the Titans are very comfortable. They're very poised. They're very confident in what they're doing. And like Henry said, why not us?
Why not?
So I'm excited to see what's going to happen this weekend. Looking forward to another opportunity for another step toward the Super Bowl. And, with another victory, I'm sure they'll come back and tell us how great San Francisco and whoever else, Green Bay and all these people are, and how the Titans don't have a chance and all that. And, when they start holding that trophy, pretty soon it'll just continue to just shut everybody up and realize how great of a team this really is. So can't wait to see it, man.
Me too.
Yes, sir, man. Hey. Go Vols, go Titans, man. Big trust. Whoop,
Big
whoop.
trust. Whoop, whoop.
You're supposed to say toot toot, Vol Nation.
No, don't say that no more.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop, toot, toot.
All right, fellas, man. Y'all take it easy.
See you.
In all honesty, guys, I think he makes a great point when it comes to the national media, and something that really has irked me over the years when it comes to situations like the Titans currently find themselves in. Last week they beat the Patriots what was the national media talking about? Is this the end of Tom Brady and the dynasty that the Patriots have created? This week it's, well, how did the Ravens lose this one? What is the future of Lamar and how is he viewed moving forward in the playoffs? It's not about the accomplishments and the run that these Tennessee Titans are on.
Yeah. And that's okay, though. Like, that's okay if you're the Titans. You want the talk to continue to be about the opponent. You just want to lay in the weeds, be under the radar, and when the game is played, you have more points than the opponent. I think the best thing for the Tennessee Titans is that they're talking about the Patriots. They're talking about, Lamar Jackson. And this week, they'll be talking about Patrick Mahomes. They'll be talking about how great that comeback was against the Texans. So this is good for the Titans. Just keep the pressure off. Go out there, shock the world again. Shock the world again. Go do it. You're an outdoor team, just like the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not like you're an indoor team and, you're not used to playing outside. So the Titans, they'll be ready. They'll be prepared, man. I can't wait. Man.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. Swain event.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and LowTCenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
It's going to be mostly cloudy today with a high of 62 and a low of 54. Showers are likely tomorrow with a high near 67 and a low around 56. Look for more of the same on Wednesday with a high in the upper 60s. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by Be Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, Be Dry can help. BeDry.com. Do you have sloping or uneven floors, foundation cracks, or a leaning chimney? Do your windows and doors not open properly, or are there gaps where the floor and walls meet? Don't worry, B-Dry offers approved foundation repair solutions like steel I-beams, helical piering, epoxy injections, carbon fiber applications, and more. Make sure that your home is on stable ground with B-Dry. Call them at 865-588-0454 or find them online at bdry.com.
Due to a special purchase, Beatty Chevrolet has over 100 pre-owned crossovers and SUVs at tremendous savings during the $1 Million Markdown event. 100 crossovers and SUVs from Chevrolet, Ford, Nissan, Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, Mazda, and more. All makes and models starting at $89.95. And we'll buy your vehicle on the spot. Plus, get the Beatty warranty for life during the $1 Million Markdown. Only at Beatty Chevrolet in Knoxville or shop BeattyChevrolet.com. Sale prices plus tax, title, and license.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Anybody here picking Clemson to win?
I'm picking Clemson to cover. Does that count?
No.
I will.
You got Clemson winning?
Mm-hmm.
I think... I know Swain has just written this football game off for the past month. I'm just kidding. I know that you feel very confident in LSU winning by double digits. I just don't want to pick against Clemson.
That's the only reason I'm doing it.
Like it kind of feels like the Alabama complex.
Thought they were going to lose 3 games this year.
It's just like you don't want to pick against Nick Saban. I don't want to pick against this Clemson team that has the same offense that lit up Alabama last year. Like I told Matt Moscona earlier, it feels like the same narrative about Clemson going into last year's Alabama game in Tua, to where, Alabama's offense is just unstoppable. Nobody can keep up with Alabama's offense. And what did Clemson do? They went in there and absolutely demolished Tua and that Alabama offense. So I think LSU wins, but I think it'll be a close game. I think Clemson covers.
What's the over-under here?
5.5, 6, somewhere in there. I picked LSU to win 35-31.
68's the over-under.
Over-under 68.
Spread is what you were going for.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. You gotta go over there, right? If you're a betting man at home, 68.
Yeah, I'm going over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going over on that one. Yeah, I got LSU. I just think there's too much firepower. Those guys are too much in sync. They really remind me of each other offensively, but I just think it's gonna be a home game for LSU.
If Joe Burrows, then it's gonna be an LSU victory.
But ESPN predictor have Clemson at 56%.
But see, I even if Joe Burrows, who is stopping Trevor Lawrence? I don't have any faith in the Clemson defense. I'm caught up on Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, Amari Rodgers, Justin Ross, Higgins, those guys. I mean, it's the same offense that torched Alabama last year. So even if Joe Burrows.
But I think LSU's defense has faced similar weapons that Clemson's bringing to the table. Has Clemson's defense been able to see this type of talent that LSU's about to bring on the perimeter? 3-4 wide receivers deep.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Numerous times throughout this season.
Well, the last 2 times out, LSU
pretty
has
good talent, yeah. I'm talking about Clemson now.
I know, but even LSU's defense, it has improved over the course of the season. They faced an offense with similar weapons. Clemson compares to Alabama, and LSU gave up 40-something points.
Yeah.
So, and then everybody was talking about how LSU's defense improved as the season went along. Georgia's offense wasn't that great. Everybody's kind of harping on that point of how LSU shut down Georgia in the SEC championship game. Georgia's offense was struggling at that point. So, I don't know. I'm just caught up on the whole Trevor Lawrence aspect of things.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence is special, man, and he's special in games like this. This is when he is at his best. I mean, why does he have to stay another year, to be honest? I mean, he's probably more ready to play in the pros than Tua. So he's on another level, and the games like this is when he is at his best. So
though Clemson has the number 1 scoring defense in the nation, I don't think their DBs, their secondary has been tested as much as LSU. That's what I was going with that previous point.
No, I agree. I mean, Clemson has played in the ACC all year.
Yeah,
true.
So, true. And the conversations about Trevor Lawrence sitting out next year have already started.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to hear that stuff.
It's going to be all off season long.
Golly, that's the worst. That's the worst. 7 a.m. We'll be talking about a new national champion. A new national champion. For Ben McKee, I'm not Brad Matthews. I can't even. Vol Storm says that Ben looks like Cheddar Bob. That's why I'm laughing.
8 Mile.
You kind of do. For Ben McKee and Brad Matthews, I'm Jason Swain. Have a great Monday. Peace and love. Swain event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. We are out.